into the danger zone.
The Drew Yari Show.
The Drew Yari Show.
Yeah, man, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Stupid idiot.
Drew Yari. The Drew Yari Show begins now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
The Drew
Hello?
Yari Show.
Yep.
What's up, man?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm here. I have my bottle of water, and I'm feeling a little better, a little well rested,
Nice.
and got some new pillows for the bed. So I guess that's good.
Yeah. I guess new pills is a good thing.
Well, I mean, because we got the new bed as I already told you, and we've been meaning
Right.
we've been meaning to get a new bedspread. Just bedspreads are they're not cheap. But we got some new pillows, so that helps. Trying to think of anything else I'm trying to think of something else exciting that happened. Oh, and I'll be at Raw this Monday.
Oh, nice.
I mean, not on the show, obviously, or maybe I will.
Well, no, I was really expecting you to to run in on Dom Mysterio.
Hey, you never know. I'm coming for that punk, that no good delinquent. Yeah, I'll be over there. I got the tickets last week, so we'll be there on Monday, and bought some shirts. I got Betty her Drew shirt that she's been wanting, and I ordered a Cody shirt. I wanted the one. I don't know if you saw it. It was the one that had like the symbol, but it was like ice or something.
Yeah.
I wanted that, but I think that was like a limited item because when I tried buying it the first time, they didn't have my size. So I tried buying it again because usually on the day of Raw, NXT, SmackDown, they're like on sale for whatever price. And I tried buying it again, and it's not even there anymore. So I bought another shirt, which is actually pretty cool. I'll put it online. I don't know if you saw it, but it's actually a pretty cool shirt. Yeah, it's just I kind of wanted that Cody shirt, but oh well. That's what I get for taking. That's what I get for taking my time. But
Yep, you can't sleep on certain things like that.
yeah, it's like an old friend said. You booty shake, you get shook. So,
It wasn't me. I didn't say that.
Oh no, not you.
I know.
Not you.
I know. I'm saying. I said I wasn't the old friend that said that.
No, this is actually an ex-friend that said that, but it's a statement that does kind of ring true. But how's everything going on your end? How's the store going?
Yeah.
Ooh, well, that's
yeah, it's all right.
it's that's either good or bad or in between.
It's all right.
Did you end up moving the store?
No,
No,
not yet.
okay. So is it gonna happen in a few weeks or what's up?
Whenever I get the money, I haven't had any money come in, so
Boy.
it just depends on when I can get the money for it.
Right.
Things are not free.
Certainly not. I wanted to come by. I got my tax return last week, and that just came and went.
Yeah.
That it's like that South Park meme. You got your money, and it's gone. Had to,
Yeah. It seems that seems to be happening a lot, but it happens.
It's had to do boring adult things with the money. I didn't even have time to do anything
Oh
for
gosh,
myself.
man, tell me about it.
Yeah, had to pay bills, had to pay these credit cards, had to get things for the house, had to go grocery shopping, and it's like, can I get at least something? No.
Well, at least you're going to Raw, and you got some new stuff too, so that's good.
Yeah, that too. But I can't. I mean, I'm not bitching money. It's just one of those things of well, damn, can I at least do a few things I actually wanted to do? But at the end of the day, I'm lucky I got it. I'm lucky I even got the money to begin with.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Is it better to get that video game you wanted, or to have running electricity and water? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but being an adult sucks at the end of the day. But sometimes you gotta do shit that's better for the family than better for yourself, I guess. But anyways, this is the show. It's already Wednesday, and let's start it off. Welcome to the show, peeps. This is the experience. You already know who I am. I'm Drew, and with me is the man himself.
Justin's from Spinebuster Tees and spinebustertees.com.
It's weird because I forgot. For a second, I forgot we did a show on Saturday. We did the review and Q&A show. It's like, man, Saturday feels like it was a month ago. I don't know why, but
feels like 3 days ago.
I mean, technically, but it's just like, for me, it's just like, oh yeah, we did do one on Saturday. So it is February 28th. We're already coming up on March, so we're in the third month of the year. At least February went a lot quicker than January. January felt like it took like 5 months to end. February went by quite quicker. And let's see what March can bring us. We're already in WrestleMania season. We're truly on the road to WrestleMania, which did start on Saturday. You started to feel it on Monday, which we'll talk about right now. So Monday Night Raw happened, as it always does on Monday, in San Jose, California. The show opens with Rhea Ripley, doing her usual shtick. Dominic, of course, getting a cavalcade of boo by the audience, and then Becky Lynch came out to basically hype up the match. Called Dom a kumquat, which I'm like, okay. And basically just to hype up the match at WrestleMania. Nia Jax comes out from behind and beats the shit out of Becky, and still not liking Becky, still not forgiving Becky for whatever reason. Well, yeah, we know the reason. And they made a match for this coming Monday on Raw. It'll be Nia and Becky, so that should be a fun one. What else do we got? We have Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. They had a match the previous week, or not the previous week, but I think the week before last week, where Sami Zayn looked like he was about to win the match, and then Drew McIntyre comes out to kind of fuck with the match. Not necessarily fuck with the match, but just comes out to kind of cause a distraction. Fun match. I mean, Sami and Nakamura usually tend to have good matches with each other, as I've always said, their match at NXT TakeOver in 2016 was, still is one of my favorite matches to watch. And that was when Nakamura debuted with the company. Good back and forth action. The story being that Sami needed a big win to kind of solidify, what his road to WrestleMania was going to be. And Sami got the win. And afterwards, they did a little bit where he's talking about the win, how he has, I guess, a little bit more confidence in himself. And then Imperium passes by to kind of give him an ugly look, and Gunther laughs at him to kind of set up a Mania match for Gunther, or whatever Gunther's Mania match is going to be. But overall, what'd you think about the match and the segment?
Thought both were great. Sami Zayn and Shinsuke, I mean, they cannot have a bad match with each other whatsoever. So, and, it just seems like WWE's they're trying to rev up the engine for WrestleMania season coming up. So,
yes, sir. And next is Chelsea Green come out to talk shit about Raquel Rodriguez. Chelsea just, again, she's great, charisma oozing out the wazoo. Talk shit about Raquel. Raquel comes out, and Chelsea's trying to do the typical, chicken shit heel shtick of trying to say, hey, we're cool, right? And then Raquel just beats the shit out of her. 1, 2, 3. I mean, okay match. Didn't really do anything that knocked anyone's socks off, but it was a match that happened. So, Gunther and the rest of Imperium came out, Gunther basically saying, who's my WrestleMania opponent going to be? Who is it? Judgment Day comes out. And then Damian Priest says, we need more gold in Judgment Day, and we're talking about your belt. And then Dom tries to get in Gunther's face, and then Gunther just shoves him with one hand, and they're trying to hold back Damian, which I that was kind of weird. After which, did I miss anything? Was it just Judgment Day? Yeah, it was Judgment Day. After which, you had the setup for the big street fight with New Day and Imperium, which fantastic match, fun as fuck. I sound like an idiot for saying this. I sometimes forget how good New Day actually is. I guess it's because for years they're just, they're so wrapped up in that comedy gimmick, which again we all get why. Because they're over. New Day sells shit. They get a reaction. They make money for the company. The up, down, channel makes money for the company, and gets views and gets clicks. But, now with this new regime, Triple H is allowing, it feels weird to say allowing, but he's kind of like revitalizing a lot of dudes' careers, like Nakamura and also New Day. It's like, hey, these guys are actually good. Kofi Kingston, once upon a time, was really fucking good, and Xavier Woods is just as good. And they went out there and performed, and they went out there and just that San Jose crowd was like lively as fuck. Like I don't think I don't really remember too many shows being in San Jose, but like that San Jose crowd was just going off the chain. Like a lot of small market crowds I've noticed over the years, they really do love them some good wrestling, and they got a lot of it here on this show. So, but Imperium getting the win as I thought they should have, to kind of solidify themselves as a team to watch, I guess, as to be more important and not just like Gunther's lackeys who get the shit beat out of him. But what did you think about the segment before the match, and what did you think about the match?
Both was great. As far as the matches itself, I thought so far it's WWE's TV match of the year so far.
Yes, sir. I mean, I know it's early. I don't want you to think I'm smoking crack, but I did add it to my candidates for match of the year. And like you said, so far it is WWE's TV match of the year, which, that's you're not wrong about that. This was an entertaining match. It was more entertaining than it had any right to be, and I loved it, and I want to go back and watch it for a third time. Next is you had Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Yeah, I skimmed through this. R-Truth, still doing comedy shtick. He's always done comedy shtick, so what am I saying? But he goes up to DIY, and he keeps calling DIY D-Generation X for some reason. I don't know why that's working. Did you see that video with him and Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, I saw it maybe about an hour or two ago. It's pretty funny.
Or he for anyone that doesn't know, he goes to NXT and he's talking to Shawn, but he's calling Shawn Michaels Johnny Gargano, and Shawn, of course, has this look on his face like, oh shit, like, oh boy. So, I don't know. It's funny. It's good shit. Drew McIntyre comes out to talk about his win at Elimination Chamber, pretty much just saying, I did it on my own, yada, 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 and then takes more shots at CM Punk, where he is talking about how he got hurt at Elimination Chamber, and the doctor told him you might not be able to make it to Mania, and then Drew says, who do you think I am, CM Punk? And, he's telling Punk, I know you don't drink, I know you're straight edge, but after WrestleMania, I'll be drinking for both of us. So, Drew's still doing the most entertaining, best shit of his career. CM Punk getting hurt was the best thing to happen to him. And then Seth comes out to basically talk about the match, but talk more about the bloodline. I like the Drew stuff better. When Seth came out, it kind of dragged it down for a little bit because Seth was kind of overacting a little bit and taking a really long time to get to the point, which we knew what the point was, which is to talk about the bloodline and blah 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 blah, and then I guess them trying to give you the idea that Drew might join forces with Seth and Cody, but it probably won't happen because Drew is a heel. But again, I enjoyed the first half of the segment with the Drew stuff, and when Seth came in, it kind of dragged it down, in my opinion. But what'd you think?
Thought it was both good on both sides. I didn't think Seth dragged it down at all. I thought both were strong here. I want to ask you a question here. Do you think that CM Punk gets involved at WrestleMania somehow?
You know what? I was thinking the exact same thing yesterday. Because I was cutting the grass, and I was cutting our backyard lawn. So like I think while I'm doing things, I'm like, I have a feeling Punk might get involved in this somehow. Whether it's obviously not as a wrestler, but I think he'll get involved maybe as like a special referee.
Well, I was about to bring that up. So yeah.
And I mean, granted, WWE's been doing a good job at hiding things. So for all we know, maybe the injury isn't as bad, but again, that's maybe reaching too much. But I think he could maybe get involved as a special referee, just to kind of add more eyes and ears to the match. So I think he will get involved. I think he will. And I'm actually happy you brought that up because I was like, I hope I'm not alone on this one, but I think he will get involved. Next is you had Liv Morgan and Nia Jax. Was a little bit too competitive for my taste, but not a bad match. I just thought it was maybe a little overly competitive, a little bit, but good back and forth action. I don't poo-poo on Liv, over Liv, like most people do. I think she's sometimes hit or miss. In this case, I thought she was mostly hit and a little bit of miss. Nia, I think she's shown improvement. This match wasn't great, but it did its job. During which Becky Lynch came out to attack Nia for earlier. And then in the back, Liv approaches Becky and says, you interrupted my match, now everything's about you. So I guess they're teasing maybe a possible heel turn for Liv, which, I don't know, what do you think about that?
Does anybody want to boo Liv Morgan?
Probably not. I mean, it kind of looks like she's angry. I mean,
if they turn her heel, so be it. But does anyone really want to boo Liv Morgan? Like, I see more Liv Morgan fans on Twitter than not.
Right. I don't know. I mean, because I don't know, maybe WWE's thinking that there's not enough heels on the women's roster, but yeah, I get your point. Like, who wants to boo Liv Morgan? Nobody. Especially, people on Twitter. But nobody's going to want to boo Liv Morgan. I just think Liv is kind of similar to Roxanne Perez on NXT, where she's not necessarily a heel, she just has more aggression to her, which I like. Because I like Roxy. All right, now we're at the main event of the show. You had Cody Rhodes versus Grayson Waller. Good match. Really good match. Cody is Cody. And Grayson, to me, is hit or miss. I think he's better as a character, as like a mouthpiece or like a shit-talking heel manager. In this case, I thought he did well because, he's in the ring with Cody. So you can't, sting up the joint if you're wrestling Cody. But yeah, they had a really good match. But the afterbirth is what kind of really had people talking more than the match. So before it was already kind of spoiled that, Paul Heyman was going to show up to Raw. He posted a picture of him, in an airplane saying, on Bloodline business. He comes out and he has, I'm assuming, local talent or guys that are signed to the roster already. But calls them, off-duty, suspended, NYPD officers.
They were local talent,
right?
Not signed to WWE.
Right. I mean, that's what I said. Either they're local or I might have said it wrong. But yeah, I was thinking they're either local talent or they're signed to the NLL whatever program. But yeah, they're local talent, like you said. Paul Heyman coming out basically just to tell Cody, listen, don't challenge The Rock. You don't want to fuck with The Rock. I'm asking you please with a cherry on top. Like he's saying that in, the most condescending, Paul Heyman, voice you can think of. Because The Rock will be on SmackDown, not just this week, but he'll be at the next 3 SmackDowns, starting this week. So it'll be the most we've seen The Rock, consecutively in the WWE in a while. So he'll be there this Friday, and the show's already sold out. They even announced it as sold out, which, as you can imagine, yes, The Rock, he's going to be there. It's going to be sold out. And Cody just saying, I will be there this Friday. So Paul Heyman's like, may I get in the ring? And Cody goes, no. Pretty much saying, anyone that even tries to step towards me, I'm going to blast them. And that includes you. So all 4 guys try to go after Cody, and Cody just beats the living shit out of them. And, Paul, of course, pulls out his phone for Roman Reigns and pulls out his phone for The Rock. So he has 2 separate phones for The Rock and Roman Reigns, which I think is funny as shit. But, I mean, it was a good segment, because this really showed range for Cody, having more aggression and having more of a fire lit under him. It didn't seem forced, in my opinion. And this just makes WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania, even that much better. It makes, SmackDown, if SmackDown wasn't already must-see, it makes it must-see now. Because Cody's going to be on the show, The Rock's going to be on the show, and obviously, Roman's going to be on the show. But what'd you think about this the segment?
Good. It's again, to your point, it's showing range for Cody. Cody, this is the adversity that I wanted Cody to have last year. No, this is what I want to see. This type of, even how he lost last week too as well. Because, no one wasn't here last week, but, he lost last week. That's the adversity that we want to see. To where that he's not being shoved down our throats, and now he's being a baby face that we will actually can see, right? So this is the type of stuff that I want to see. The obstacles in his way, not what we had last year with Brock Lesnar. That didn't do anything for Cody in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why I was so adamant about it last year. I'm like, what is this gonna do for Cody? Nothing. It did nothing for Cody in the grand scheme of things. But what they've been doing with Cody over the last several months, probably say the last 2 to 3 months before the end of the year, has been a lot better. I think it started with the whole Nakamura thing, and went on from there. But yeah, I mean, I was fine with the segment, and it's advancing. And we almost, and one thing I don't think I brought up, but we never really got the reason why Cody gave up his spot to The Rock in the first place. Never really got the explanation for that. But we kind of got into that, but it didn't really get into it. But outside of that, I thought it was a damn good segment.
I think this Friday we'll probably get more of that with Cody explaining, I gave up my spot because of this, and then I realized this.
Right.
So yeah, to your point, this does add more. This adds more adversity to Cody, which is something I don't want to just say it was me saying it, but that a lot of people were thinking last year that Cody hasn't struggled enough, before the match with Roman, because he had the injury, and then he came back and he was just handed the Rumble, which when he came out at 30, I'm just thinking oh, I don't know how I feel about that. And then he has the match with Roman. I just it's funny how I see a lot of people online, experienced, journalists and even people that have been in the wrestling business for, a lot longer than us, a lot longer than even, we've been alive, say they should have pulled the trigger with Cody last year. I'm like, I don't think so. Because it would have been too obvious, that he was just handed the Rumble, and then he just gets the main event. And it's I just don't see him winning, because again, it feels too obvious. This year, it feels like it can go either way, but obviously Cody needs to win. Roman, even our friend Kevin Castle, he's a Roman guy, but he even admits it's time to take that title off of Roman. Because Roman's already made that title to the point where it's a prop, it's an accessory. This year definitely. There's a lot of adversity for Cody, and you have, The Rock added to it, who's the biggest movie star in Hollywood, who's one of the biggest stars in the history of wrestling, and now he's a heel. And all this does is just make people like Cody more without feeling like he's being shoved down our throats. So I mean, this is the most hyped I've been for a WrestleMania main event in a long time. I seriously cannot wait, and I'm loving where this is going. It's made Raw and SmackDown must-see TV. So we're moving on. Raw, good show this week. The official starts of the road to WrestleMania, and just again makes everyone want to watch it, want to keep watching every episode leading up. I don't know if you have any closing thoughts on Raw.
Yeah, I mean, just a few things that we missed, but I think the Intercontinental title, that situation is very dynamic right now because not only you have, potentially, maybe Dom from the Judgment Day or Damian Priest from the Judgment Day, but you also got Sami Zayn, Andrade, Chad Gable. Makes me think that maybe like a multi-man ladder match of some sorts that they may do at WrestleMania. That's something to look out for.
I wouldn't mind that.
But yeah, something like that. I would not do a gauntlet match. I wouldn't do a 6-way or anything like that. I'll do a ladder match. So if Gunther does lose it, he loses by a non-traditional wrestling match and a match that he's not really known for, a ladder match, and he doesn't get pinned, he doesn't submit or anything like that. And so that way he'll still stay quote unquote undefeated going into winning the World Heavyweight Championship sometime this year.
Right. I mean, speaking of adversity, we were talking about Cody. This adds more adversity to Gunther. Last year at Mania, he had a triple threat with Drew and Sheamus, which a lot of people considered, the match of the year. And I don't blame him. That was a great match. And now this year, he possibly has more adversity. So, I mean, I don't mind it. Because Dom I picked for my most improved, and this year I felt like he hasn't really done anything of importance other than just like go out and get booed. So I would like to see him be a part of this ladder match if he is a part of it. Maybe even throw in, I was gonna say Damian, but no, he's gonna defend his tag titles. But yeah, put
in Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed. He can do his big splash off a ladder. Sammy, Chad Gable, which Chad Gable put out that video on social media just talking about why he needs to be the Intercontinental Champion, which, good shit. What else can we say? Good shit. That's cinema. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a ladder match. I've always been the kind of guy that, like, I enjoy the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, but I'm of the mindset of, like, I wouldn't mind if they put Money in the Bank back at Mania and make it just a Mania thing. Like, I don't know how you feel about that.
You can't do that. The Money in the Bank is too big now to even consider go back to. Now, I wish it was just a WrestleMania match, but just like it's the Big Five now. You know what I mean? And some people think Money in the Bank is bigger than Survivor Series at this point in time.
Probably
Money in the Bank was going to be at Allegiant Stadium. Before they moved it to the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. It was going to be inside of a stadium. If your pay-per-view show can be in a stadium, an actual stadium, I don't think there's a way of them going back on that. They'll lose out a lot of money at the end of the day. Like, I just think it's fine where it's at.
Right. And it's, again, just, Money in the Bank was such a big part of Mania, and it gave guys something to do. But yeah, like you said, at this point, it's too big. It's too much of its own thing. At the point where it's like it feels like it's become bigger than Survivor Series, and in some aspects, maybe even bigger than SummerSlam. But yeah, again, Raw was a good show. NXT. We're gonna talk about NXT for a little bit. The show opens with Kiana James versus Lash Legend. Or no. Yeah, Kiana James versus Kalani Jordan. I'm sorry. Fine match. I like Kalani. I figured Kalani's gonna go on a little bit of a losing streak, even though she's being featured in a more prominent role on the card. again, I would like to see her maybe get some wins every now and then, but I get why she needs to lose for a little bit. And then Kiana James, I like her. I just think there's something missing with her. Because, and I think I've talked about this before, like, she reminds me of, I guess, like, a female Bobby Roode, where it's like she has a look and she's talented, but there's just something about her compared to the other, like, crop of women on the roster where I'm just like, I feel like she should be listed in that crop, but there's just something about her I don't think a lot of people are connecting with. I don't know, do you have any, like, similar thoughts, or what do you think?
I think Kiana James is excellent.
Okay.
I mean, she's not perfect, but from what I see more people. Again, I look at all aspects of social media. I look at different people's views and opinions. Like, I see more positive than negative. Really, the only negative that I see about her is that she's not really being pushed to that next level, and not really to the fall of her own.
Right, okay. Again, I'm not saying I hate her or I think she sucks, but, like, when I look at the crop of women in NXT, I see obviously the women's champion, Lyra, not Lyra, as Savage Elite likes to get on me for. Who else? Fallon Henley, that's another one people talk about. JC Jane and Thea Hale are being used, in a prominent position.
That's true, but not. They are being used in storylines, but not within that division. Right. Kiana James is being more used within the division itself. Right. Thea and JC, although they're on TV every week, they have their storyline. It's not really affecting, like, championship implications or anything like that.
Right. Roxanne, obviously, she gets used very prominently. Who else? Lola, of course. Lola. I mean, Lola wasn't here this week, which is weird. Am I missing some? I'm missing some names. I already know. But yeah, again, I like Kiana. I want Kiana to be pushed better. Like, again, that's just my opinion. So again, but nonetheless, she won after some interference by what's her fucking name? What's the girl that's with her? Rizzo?
Izzy Dame.
Izzy Dame. There you go. Izzy Dame's tall. I think she's like 6 feet almost, right?
Yeah, she's tall.
Tall girl. She blocked a dive by Jordan, and what's her? James got the win, so good for her. There's a backstage segment with Gigi Dolan and Jada Parker, where Gigi went up to Ava's office and wanted to talk to her. And then when they're going in the office, Jada Parker just happens to be in the office, and then Gigi and Jada get into it. And Ava makes the match for later. And then a little later on, Ariana Grace wants to keep the peace in the NXT women's locker room because she doesn't want any fighting. And Jada tells Ariana, your crown is stupid. And you just see Ariana just go, "How dare you?" So she's great. She's so fucking good. But yeah, nonetheless, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson make their NXT debut, or I guess match debut, against Malik Blade and Idris Enofe. It was an okay match. It did what it needed to do. I'm not the biggest fan of the OC personally. I like Blade and Enofe. They're a team. I know. I was just talking about Kiana James. They're a team where I'm like, they're really good and they're very talented and they're very charismatic. But what's missing from them getting to that next plateau? But OC got the win, and afterwards
they have no true characters. I mean, not saying that they need characters, but they like what's their identity? Like, who are they? Like, what's their background? What's their story? Like.
Do you think NXT should probably do some more like character work as far as like maybe do a vignette of like, hey, let's talk about these guys?
Yeah, I mean, they do that at times already. They just do it with the guys who are already established already, the guys that don't need it.
Right. I mean, because like we already, like you said, we don't need to know more about Carmelo Hayes than we already know. We don't need to know more about Ilya than we already know. Like, do it for the guys that need that spot. Do it for Idris and Enofe. Do it for Kiana James. Do it for Kalani. Just make the audience care about them. So, but yeah, I love these guys. Like you said, they don't have a character. What exactly is their character? They're the funny guys. They make funny jokes and they're talented. That's really about it. But and then Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker are watching them, and then afterwards they do a segment with the Wolf Dogs where they try to basically like muscle them, and then the Wolf Dogs stand up to them, and there you go. Right? Did I miss anything afterwards? Roxanne is mad. She's not mad. Or no, she's not. She is mad. She's mad about last week losing her NXT Women's Championship opportunity to Lash Legend. Jakar Jackson is there to talk a little bit of shit, and then Roxanne just punches her right in the face. So I don't know. I don't know why people want to go at Roxanne when she's pissed off, because she's just going to punch you right in the face. She goes out and has a match.
I will say this. I may have told you in person, but I don't think I ever said on the podcast before. So the end of the world party, right?
Yeah.
Local talent here, San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Corvus told me that Roxy is probably one of the hardest chops that he's ever had. So I can only imagine how those women are feeling when she is slapping them backstage. So.
Hey, in my experience, short Latina girls are probably hit the hardest. Yeah, End of the World Party. We met them last year at an indie show in Shirts, and yeah, they're pretty cool. They took pictures with my sister and her kids.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Good people. Yeah, they actually came out the shop this weekend. Came and hanged out for about 30 minutes. So
yeah, it was cool as fuck. I want to meet them again. They're good people. I think I follow them on social media. But yeah, Roxy had a match with Jakara. Good match, pretty good match. Jakara, very underrated talent. Another one of those, people who were mentioning that maybe you should do a vignette on them. Maybe tell us more about them and not just say, "Hey, I'm good wrestler number 13." It's like, okay, tell us more about you. This is almost like a job interview, to us. That's kind of what wrestling has always been. Is you're on the job, and this is your resume that you're trying to tell us, so that way we can get invested in you, thus the company can get invested in you and, put you in a more prominent spot. But I digress. Not a real wrestling fan. Google him. Yeah, exactly, Keith. Exactly. And then Roxanne got the win, as we figured. All right. Next is then more Thea Hale, JC Jane stuff, where JC is being condescending to Thea, saying that the old Thea was a loser, the new Thea is great, and then Thea looking disheveled because she doesn't know what to do. Next is you had Dijak versus Luca Crucifino, who's the resident lawyer of NXT. Do you know if he's actually a lawyer?
No, he's not.
Okay, I'm asking because whenever you have these random gimmicks, I'm like, are they really that gimmick?
He's not a real lawyer, no.
I'm asking because when Matt Stryker came in, his whole thing is I'm a teacher, and it's and he turned out to actually be a teacher. So that's
he used to play. He used to play football. I don't think he has a law background.
Yeah, well, someone should look into that.
I mean, maybe he has a law background. I mean, I just haven't heard anything about it. So,
I was just curious. So I think this is he only had that one match in the tournament, and so this is the first time I actually got to really see him wrestle. He was actually pretty impressive. I didn't realize how tall he was. He was almost as tall as Dijak. And
yeah,
there's a point.
He's 6'2".
It's a tall lawyer. I know he's not a lawyer. I'm just fucking with you. But no, there was a point where he was tossing around Jesus, I need to reword that. Where he was pushing around Dijak. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty impressive. And you know how I feel about Dijak. I love the guy. And
They need to get Smart Mark Sterling over to NXT, and they could be a tag team, the Lawyers.
Okay. I like it. I like how you're thinking. Dijak gets the win, of course. Afterwards, Joe Gacy escaped from his imprisonment, or as I tweeted, being locked in an empty office backstage. I guess a janitor was cleaning backstage and saw him and let him out. So cool. So they're going to continue that feud. All right. Are we at? Okay, here we go. And then Lyra Valkyria comes out.
There you go, Drew.
Lyra, I said it right this time. There you go, Savage Elite. Be happy.
You said Lyra.
Lyra. There you go, Lyra. Or Jesus Christ. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it however I want. Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria. Comes out with Tatum Paxley to announce a big surprise. And announces that she was able to orchestrate a tag team, a women's tag team championship next week on NXT. So it'll be Lyra and Tatum Paxley versus the Kabuki Warriors. So cool. We get to see that match next week. Afterwards, he had Ridge Holland interrupt the segment, which people didn't like too much, and says that he just needed to get something off his chest, blah, blah, blah. During which...
women out of the ring, I wasn't too fond of that either.
Yeah, it's just like you have two very pretty women in the ring. Like, come on, Ridge, read the room. And after which the lights go out and you see the I guess the scripture of the mysterious vignettes that have been playing, with random quotes, which we've all speculated. I think you said it might have been Julia.
Well, yeah, that went down the drain once I found out that she's going to stay in Japan for a little bit longer to help out Rossi Ogawa's new promotion, which is all I'm all fine with. So
yeah, much respect to her. Take your time. And then I know most people thought Okada, which at this point it's like, yeah, no. And then another name, maybe Tama Tonga, which we'll talk about him in a little bit. Ended up being
Dallas too.
Yeah, it ended up being someone completely different because you heard a voice, quote the, I guess the quote that was on the screen, which didn't sound anywhere near Japanese or, non-white. And you see a mysterious hooded figure attack Ridge Holland with a chair, and it took me 3 seconds to realize, oh shit, it's Shawn Spears. Which I actually said Ty Dillinger, but now he's going by Shawn Spears, which is cool. Did not expect that. This was probably the first time in a long while where WWE really kept something under wraps without anyone knowing about it, without any of the smart marks knowing about it, or Meltzer or any of the, wrestling journalists really talking about it. So, happy to see him. I like Shawn Spears. I've always liked Shawn Spears. I think he's a good hand. I think he's a good wrestler. You never really hear, you don't hear any bad stories about Shawn Spears. And with all intents and purposes, you always hear people saying nothing but nice things about Shawn Spears. I'll say this. Again, I know I just said I was happy to see him. I was somewhat underwhelmed, and I'll explain why. This wasn't like the case of like those vignettes that played during 2020 of like a mysterious figure riding on a motorcycle and then it ended up being Ember Moon, which I'm like, you're playing those cryptic vignettes for somebody that's already in the company. But this was for somebody that left the company and then came back. But a little underwhelmed because I was assuming it would have been someone that we hadn't seen before that's making their debut with WWE, but again, that's just how I feel. Again, I'm happy to see Shawn Spears back. He's a good part of NXT, so we'll just see what happens. What did you think about the return?
I'm cool with it. I mean, I don't suspect him to. Now, a lot of people are kind of like, "Oh, NXT champion." Shut up and stop. He's gonna be there to help the younger talent, the green talent there on how to work matches on TV, and, helps up feuds. Like, I don't foresee him winning an NXT championship, nor should he.
No.
North American, to get, a young guy over, okay, I'll be okay with. But, at the end of the day, he's not there to, like, he's not there to be the main guy. He's the guy that, he's the guy that, he's not the chicken, part of the chicken Alfredo. He may be the pepper, or he may be the salt, or he may be the oregano, the oregano, whatever, right? But he's not the main reason for the dish.
No.
So, I'm all about, the NXT and the youth movement. And always said that. However, in this particular case, I'm okay with, because he was an NXT regular, but if he goes up to the main roster, like, what would he been doing anyway? Right. And at the end of the day, he has his own school, right? He has Flatbacks, the Flatbacks Academy with Tyler Breeze, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be down there a lot, helping train these guys as well. So. I think this is a perfect situation for Sean. It seems like obviously there was no bad blood, and obviously he's friends with Cody Rhodes too. So this is gonna help get guys like, I don't know, Ricky Starks. Get
Wardlow.
Big Shotty Lee Johnson, and maybe Julia Hart. I'm still pushing that narrative. If Shotty Lee comes to WWE NXT, I suspect Julia Hart to come with, because they're married, right? So yeah. At the end of the day, yeah, I thought this is a positive, but let's not make a bigger deal than what it is. Right. It's cool, it's great, glad to see him, but at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, it's not gonna help ratings. It's not gonna, AEW's not, gonna go out of business because Sean Spears is back. As I see some people on Twitter saying these fucking fake WWE accounts like WWE Gareth, which I ended up blocking because, like, this guy is just a fucking cunt. Like, just so fucking, like, just so fucking toxic. Like, not even talking about, it has nothing to do with AEW. He'll bring something up about AEW. And same thing with the other guy. Was it a Dreammaker, the AEW guy? Like, well, I don't even know who that is, but Dreammaker, like, I blocked him because he's so pro AEW, and it's like, oh, fuck WWE.
Yeah, he's basically another toxic AEW fan that's like, AEW does this, WWE sucks, and like he's.
Oh yeah, I mean both. I mean, if you're that far on side one or the other, like, man, like, go outside. It's not that serious at the end of the day. It's pro fucking wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, you can like who you like, but, like, going on social media and dedicating a Twitter account because, oh, I hate this company and I'm going to tell you why, and I love this one and one company only and they can never do anything wrong. That is fucking sick in the head, and you need fucking help.
Yeah,
and
like,
people.
Yeah, the same people that are like, Takeshita and Will Ospreay will be better, will draw bigger money than The Rock and Cody Rhodes. It's like, stop. Go,
well, same thing on the WWE side as well. Is like, right? They'll just be like, they'll be like, oh, this match is better than they'll say like a random Raw match. It's better than Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Like,
it's just
stop it.
Yeah, just like I always say, I'm not married to a brand, and yes, I come off as pro WWE because that's the brand I've been watching, my whole life. I'll watch other shit. And if other shit does well, I'll say it does well. Like, if something in AEW catches my eye and it does well, I'll say it does well. And I've given WWE shit in the past. Like you, for example, you're a lot more kinder to AEW than me. But at the same token, if AEW does something that sucks, you're gonna say it sucks.
Absolutely.
Like, I have a friend, I'm not gonna say who it is, that is very pro AEW, and AEW can do no wrong, and AEW did A, B, C, and D, and it was awesome and amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I love him. He's a good dude. But there's times where I'm like, I can't listen to your show, man. I can't listen to you talk wrestling because it's going to irritate me. But yeah, just, it's good to find people that aren't married to a brand. And at the same token, the brand they do support, they're going to at least have the wherewithal to say, this didn't work, and I'll explain why. And not just say, this is amazing, it's amazing. Did I tell you how amazing it was? Oh, The Rock's coming back. Who cares? No one cares about The Rock. It's like, come on, guy.
You want to know why I'm so split down the middle for the most part, and I just call it what it is? Because I'm not getting paid by any of these fucking companies.
Mm-hmm.
WWE, Gareth, WWE doesn't fucking care if you're so pro them. They're not paying you a fucking dime for you to suck their fucking dicks. Dreammaker, Tony Khan doesn't give a fuck on how well you think AEW is, and oh fuck WWE, oh Cody, he fucking sucks and this, that, and the other. I love the Young Bucks. He ain't giving you no fucking money for it. So why would you waste your energy and your time and bashing a company? If you're pro one company versus another, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if something, to Drew's point, if something is going well with the other company, you'd be like, hey, you know what? I don't really like the Young Bucks, but man, this new gimmick that they got going on, it's all right. It's okay. I like it. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to admit that. Because you're not getting paid by either company at the end of the day.
Like, we reviewed Hard to Kill. We reviewed the TNA pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, good show.
And we both liked it. Like, I said I liked it. I liked this about it. I liked ABC and D about it. Granted, I haven't really been watching TNA like I said I was as of late, but I'll try when I do have the time. But yeah, just if something's good, I'll say it's good. That's always been my mentality with anything, whether it's wrestling, whether it's movies or television, or music. If something's good, I'll say it's good. If something sucks, I'll say it sucks. If something's mid, I'll say it's mid, regardless of how I feel about it. Like, I like Marvel. I don't love everything Marvel's doing right now, but if it's good, I'll say it's good. And if it's not so good, I'll say it's not so good. So, simple. It's not a bad...
Anyway,
yeah,
I was going to say, anyway, Sean Spears being in NXT is good, but it's not changing shit for NXT.
Right. Like, NXT... It's good that, like you said, the youth movement, but also NXT benefits from having veterans down there to kind of like move the stream along. You got the Good Brothers, down there to help the tag division. You have Sean Spears, to help, a lot of the younger talent. You have, a lot of, main roster people show up on the show to, to kind of like bring ratings and, bring more eyes and ears to the product. Like next week, we're getting the Kabuki Warriors. Lyra and Tatum more than likely aren't going to win, but it just adds more excitement to the show. So it helps to have more seasoned talent on a show full of, young and up and coming talent. Moving along. Obafemi, did a segment with Ava where he wants to know who his next victim is. And then Ilya shows up behind him and they have a little stare down. So that was kind of fun. And then the whole night, Carmelo is, avoiding Ilya. He even has his own security team and tells Ilya, you want me? Then, Ava's going to have to drop a contract. No contract, no Mello. So Mello's still doing the scumbag pussy heel thing. And then later on, Jensen approached Oba and said, I'll take you on next week. So, cool. Next is, I'm assuming, your match of the century. Lexus King versus Von Wagner.
Oh, God. You want to talk about fucking... You want to talk about fucking your Bret and Shawn Ironman matches. You want to talk about Steamboat and Flair. You want to talk about fucking Bryan Danielson and, and fucking Nigel McGuinness. This fucking match. This is fucking generational. This match here is fucking, what's the best word? Universal. Amazing.
All right. So Lexus King and Von Wagner. This was kind of a short match. A big part of the match was they did a bit outside where Robert Stone just happens to be in the vicinity of them fighting, and then Vaughn bumps into Robert Stone. Lexus goes back in the ring. Vaughn is checking on Stone to make sure he's okay. Robert says, "I'm fine. Get back in the match." And then they fight off, and then Lexus is about to go for the win, and then Robert gets on the apron to cause a distraction, and then Vaughn goes for the schoolboy, which is Vaughn. How tall is Vaughn? Is Vaughn like 6'8", 6'9", or taller?
I wouldn't say he's hard than 6'8". He's probably like a legit 6'6", I want to say.
Okay. It just seems weird for a big guy to go for a schoolboy, unless he's a heel. But I don't know. That's just me being nitpicky. But yeah, he pins Lexus and gets the win. So pretty big win for Von Wagner, which, again, you probably like him a lot more than me. I still like Von. They've made me care about Von. He's a, stomp and clap, baby face. And he got a win. So I've always said, Von needs to start getting some wins, and he can't just be the lovable, loser. Afterwards, Lexus, puts a beat down on Robert Stone and Vaughn, so that continues that storyline. And the next we have Gigi Dolan versus Jada Parker. Okay match. I'm still kind of like befuddled as to what they're doing with Gigi Dolan, which I've kind of like gone back and forth about it, that them splitting up Gigi and JC, I think, was bad for both girls. I mean, maybe not so much for JC, because JC looks like she's doing much better now. But it kind of like adds to my point of like JC needs somebody to bounce something off of. It's kind of like The Miz. Like The Miz is more interesting when he has somebody to work with, whether it's Jomo or even his wife, or pretty much anyone else that he's been in a tag team with. JC, I think, works better when she's in a tag team, or when she has like a manager or a friend to go out with. Lately it was Thea, and now it's what's her name? What's the girl that is also part of the group?
What group?
With Thea and JC.
Dude, I don't fucking know.
I know what
you're talking about. I don't know her name.
Anyone know in the chat? Please let us know.
But it's obviously not. It's obviously not important if they don't say it, right?
They say her name, but I'm just like, she kind of looks like Kiana James, but she's not Kiana James. So, what the fuck's her name? But Gigi, I think Gigi needs to be in a tag team, or she needs just somebody to play off of, because I like Gigi. Everyone loves Gigi. I mean, she has her own like following. She has her own fan base. She even has like a shirt. But just
I think they all have shirts, Drew.
I mean, I think if you have a shirt, you should at least like be like important to the show somewhat. But that's just me.
I mean, at one point, fucking Stokely Hathaway had a shirt on NXT, and they didn't do shit with him. So,
okay, then you just pissed all over my theory. Anyways, but I don't know. Just I think Gigi should be featured more prominently on the show. I just don't know what's missing with her, and I think it's maybe she just needs to be in a tag team, or maybe she needs to get better in the ring. I don't know. But she has a match with Jada, and I like Jada. I think she's very good. I think she has a good character. I like the fact that they put her with OTM, so that puts her in a more prominent role in the show. While that's happening, Ariana Grace comes out and wants the two women to stop fighting each other. She wants to end the violence. As Gigi's getting ready to go for, I guess, a punch, Ariana grabs her hand, and then Jada ends up winning the match, and Ariana's, profusely apologizing to Gigi. So, but what'd you think about the match?
It was a women's TV match on NXT.
All right.
I mean, what can I say about it? I mean,
I know.
I mean, there's really nothing to say about the match.
All right. What do you think about Ariana wanting the violence to end?
I'm very confused by that. Unless there was something I missed last week, but
yeah, that was really random. Because it's like you should be she should be a little more self-aware that she's on a wrestling show, and it's a wrestling ring and you're bound to hurt each other.
Yeah, I don't know if there was something I missed last week. There was a backstage situation last week with those two that I missed or something. That I don't know. I love Ariana Grace. I love her. She's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But I thought this was just out of place.
Since I just talked about it, I kind of want to ask you for your opinion. So, how do you feel about the booking of Gigi? Like, what do you think she needs to do to kind of be more important on the show?
Give her more prominent storylines for one. She really hasn't had anything since the JC Jane storyline, right? And I thought both women did well in that storyline, at least, and I thought they had a pretty good blow-off match, but she hasn't really had much to do. I mean, but to your point, maybe a tag team of sorts for her. Maybe that can help her out, right? But there's not a lot of people that you can team her up with right now that'll make her serious, because a lot of the women on there I don't think really will mesh well with Gigi. I think the biggest one that would mesh well is Cora Jade, but she's injured, right? You can't put Gigi with Fallon Henley. You can't put Gigi with Kalani Jordan. You can't put Gigi with Lash Legend or Lola Vice. You can't. It just doesn't work, right? Can't put Gigi with Sol Ruka.
No.
So there's really no one there for her to team with at the end of the day. So maybe a character change, right? Because Dan Paxley wasn't doing anything for a long time, and she was just Dan Paxley, boring character, right? And now she's like this, psychotic super fan of Lyra Valkyria, and it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's a direction. She's in she's part of the main event, storyline, within the women's division, right? You know what I mean? Even though I don't think it's the best, maybe it's a character change of some sorts. I don't know. Or maybe she, teams up with a with a male heel. You know what I mean? Like, and they become a quote unquote couple. But at the end of the day, she is dating, Zachary Wentz, and you know how that goes off. But it works for Matt Cardona and Steph DeLander. You know what I mean? So. Maybe they can find somebody that Gigi could work with, and but again, who would that be? I have no fucking clue, right? Like,
right.
I mean, Gigi with Baron Corbin? No, not really. Gigi with Metaphor? No, I don't think that'll work. Gigi with Joe Gacy? They make her maybe if they make her a similar character to Joe Gacy, and I think she has the range. I think that'd be up her alley, maybe for something like that. But again, I'm not really like too hot for that. But that's more realistic than anything else. Like Gigi's in she's in a very awkward spot right now. A very awkward spot.
Right. Yeah, you're right. All right. So let's move on to the main event match of the show. Unless I missed something else. No. As you had the Heritage Cup match, which Noam Dar defending his Heritage Cup against a member of No Quarter Catch Crew, and ends up being Charlie Dempsey.
Yep.
And good match. Can't complain. I'm not crazy about the whole Heritage Cup concept. Just get that out of the way. I like Noam Dar. I think Noam Dar has shown great character work. Because at the end of the day, it's wrestling. You need to be a character, despite what most people think. So he's shown great character work, especially, with him needing to be the Heritage Cup winner, because it helps with his, what do you say, like his anxiety or something like that. And I think Ora Mensa works on the group. And I like the addition of Lash and Jakar. They work well in the group as well. Charlie Dempsey, I think.
Speaking of, not to interrupt, but just speaking of that, like Metaphor's entrance at the very beginning with the different colors,
I like that.
Someone made a Teen Titans Teen Titans meme over it, which is pretty funny.
I like it. That's nice. So yeah, it ends up being Charlie Dempsey. Sorry, I was drinking water. It ends up being Charlie Dempsey, which I like. Charlie Dempsey. He's talented, little bland, but talented. And he ends up getting the match, or if he gets chosen or choose himself or whatever. Good back and forth action. Was not really expecting Charlie Dempsey to win, but I guess they did something that makes sense, that is kind of a lost art in wrestling, which is take advantage of how many guys you have compared to the other team. Like, I don't know if it's just me that notices this, but like, you had Metaphor that only had Aura come out with Noam, and then you had, you know, Charlie Dempsey's crew, and like everybody was there. Like in the past, they would just have those guys standing around like a bunch of idiots. In this case, they're like, let's take advantage of the fact that we have more people than them. So they made sure to kind of like cause a distraction to the point where the referee didn't see, obviously, and Charlie Dempsey gets the win. So Charlie Dempsey is the new Heritage Cup winner, which wasn't expecting that, but good. Add some more flair to this Heritage Cup thing. But what'd you think about the match?
Fun match. I like the Heritage Cup rules. It's different. It really takes a I don't want to say if you don't like it, you're stupid, but it really takes a thinker to put a match together like that, and it really takes someone to appreciate a match like that as well. But I mean, I like the Heritage Cup rules. It's different, like I said. You know what I mean? It's not the same formula that we will always see, and plus it's traditional British wrestling as well. So kind of like in Japan. Like Japan, instead of have a 10 count, the outside says 20 count. You know what I mean? So it's a cultural thing. But Charlie Dempsey winning, it feels right. It feels right. Now, my thing is, what does this do with Noam Dar? Do we get depressed Noam Dar back again? Drunk Noam Dar back again? I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see about that. But I'm fine with it. And the Heritage Cup is not meant for guys like Carmelo Hayes or Braun Breaker or a main event guy like that, Obafemi. Like, it's not meant for guys like that. It's meant for guys like a Bret Hart or a Chris Benoit or, mech technician guys that can go the limit and that can be able to, go the endurance round. You know what I mean? If Jay O'Brien was coming up nowadays and, he was in WWE, this would be like the perfect match for him. You know what I mean? So yeah, so if you look at it from that concept, from that perspective, then I think there's probably be a little bit more appreciation for the Heritage Cup. But I'm fine with Troy Dempsey winning. You know what I mean, for sure.
Right.
So and it gives, of course, Catch Crew a more legitimacy with their group as well. So they're talking about hey, we want to be the best we want to be the best grapplers and all that stuff. And, this gives them that opportunity to show that now. So
nice. And now the ending segment of the night, the contract signing. You had Ilya come out, you had Ava come out, and then you had Mello come out with his security team, which he paid for. So it's Mello's security team. And they're about to sign the contract, and out comes Tony D'Angelo. Early in the night, he was him and his crew are watching the monitor, and then he tells Shannon, go get him, which nobody really knew what him was. I guess in this case, it's him, Hayes, because he's him. Not Mello. Tony comes out to basically say, "How's about you just make this a number one contenders match? Because Mello's not earning his match. I would like to earn my match." And, Mello says, you better get out of here or we'll have one of my guys throw you out. And then Tony says, see, that's the thing. People will do whatever they want unless they're paid for it or something like that. And then he snaps his fingers and all of Mello's security guys walks away. So I'm basically saying that Tony D'Angelo, bought Melo's guys off. So, I mean, he is the Don of NXT. So, they proposed the idea of, do you want to just give Melo his match, or do you want Melo to earn this match? I'll earn this match too. So Ilya agrees. So NXT Roadblock next Tuesday. It'll be Melo and Tony D'Angelo to determine who's going to face Ilya at Roadblock. It was a good segment. I wasn't really expecting Tony to be added to the match. I know they just lost the tag titles, and they still want to do something with Tony. I mean, regardless of what most people think about the gimmick, I mean, Tony has shown a lot of improvement over the past, 2.5 years since 2.0 has started, along with a lot of people like a Tiffany Stratton, for example, or Trick Williams. People like Tony. People chant for him. They do the hand thing. So how do you feel about Tony being added to this match?
Oh, with it, man. I like Tony D'Angelo. You know what I mean? Like, I think he, he was more rough around the edges as the four pillars for NXT 2.0, right? Because you had Grayson Waller, right? He's on the main roster now. You got Braun Breaker, who's, he is on the main roster now, and, he's still an NXT, former NXT champion. You got Carmelo Hayes, right? Who's, going to be going up to the main roster very soon, and, former NXT champion. And you got Tony D, who came in and, who I will say definitely cooled off with fans, but one thing about Tony D, I will always say he's always kept improving, and he's worked hard as well. He came back from injury too. You know what I mean? So, I really think that he's gonna surprise a lot of people in this main event, situation, and I can see Tony D, being right up there for that NXT championship, by the end of this year. You know what I mean? Not saying he's gonna win it, but I'm saying he's gonna be in the thick of things by the end of this year. I mean, because you got guys there like him, Trick Williams. I mean, Trick Williams is gonna be up there by default, right? Von Wagner, possibly as well. So you got a nice amount of hands. Maybe Josh Briggs too. I predicted Josh Briggs. Could be NXT champion by the end of the year. You also have Pillman Jr. down there too, Lexus King. So yeah, you have a lot of different hands, and I really think that with this particular situation for Tony D, that he's gonna surprise a lot of people and be like, oh, okay, well, he's really showing his worth at this point in time. So can't wait to see it.
Roadblock will not be a PLE. It's just going to be on Tuesday, like NXT usually is. I have the card up right here. So far, there's 4 matches for next Tuesday, March the 5th. So let's kind of go through the card real quick. You have the NXT Tag Team Championships, the Wolf Dogs, Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin versus Chase University, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson.
Doing predictions?
Yeah, I mean, do you want to do predictions?
I didn't know. Well, I'm going with it. I mean, I didn't know this was thought the champions. We'll just go by champions.
Yeah, the champions are going to hold on, and the Wolf Dogs are more than likely going to drop the titles at Stand and Deliver against whomever. I hope it's not the OC, but I have a feeling it'll be the OC. But yeah, the champions are going to win. Women's Tag Team Championships, you have the Kabuki Warriors versus Lyra and Tatum Paxley.
Asuka's never lost an NXT match.
So, the Kabuki Warriors are more than likely going to walk out. Yeah. Dijak versus Joe Gacy in an Asylum match. I'm assuming it's not going to be the same as like a TNA Asylum match, but...
No, it's like the Chris Jericho versus... Dean Ambrose match, Jon Moxley, when they had the weapons inside the steel cage.
Yeah, when he went through the thumbtacks, I remember that.
Yeah.
Dijak more than likely is going to win.
I got Gacy here. I mean, he needs a win. He already lost to Dijak already at the pay-per-view, I mean. So Gacy needs some type of win. He hasn't really had that opportunity to have a win, so I'm going with Gacy.
No, you're not wrong. I'm gonna switch my choice, Gacy. I think Gacy needs a win. Right, and then more than likely the main event, singles match to determine the number one contender for the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver. Carmelo Hayes versus Tony D'Angelo.
Tony D'Angelo wins because of Trick Williams returns and screws Mello.
I had to mute my mic for a bit. Yeah, I think the same shit's gonna happen. Trick Williams comes out, causes a distraction, and Tony D'Angelo gets the win. So we're gonna get Tony and Ilya, which I, again, did not have that on my bingo card for 2024. So we'll see how the match works out. But yeah, looks like we're gonna get Tony and Ilya at Stand Deliver, and obviously we're getting Mello and Trick. So that's Roadblock for next Tuesday. Now that we're on the predictions train so far, let's do predictions for Revolution, which is going to be this Sunday, March the 3rd in Greensboro, North Carolina, Greensboro Coliseum. Before we get into that, let the people know, I guess, a quick review of Dynamite tonight, if you would like to talk about it.
Did you watch?
I watched maybe 3 minutes of it.
Oh, so you didn't watch it then?
No.
You didn't watch the show then? I mean, I thought Dynamite was a good go home show. I won't say very good, but it was a good go home show. The 6-man tag with the with FTR and Jesus Christ, FTR and Eddie Kingston versus Blackpool Comic Club. It took almost near the first hour, but it was a damn good opener as far as match is concerned. But show opened up with the Hangman and Swerve and Samoa Joe addressing Hangman's addressing like his injury concern, quote unquote. Ended up being a Swerve on Swerve. So we'll still have our triple threat at Revolution. Like I said, the 6-man tag, I thought it was a great 6-man tag. Will Ospreay comes in and which no one's gonna talk about. No one's gonna talk about this. I'm gonna say this now. Will Ospreay versus Takeshita could be possibly match of the year. They set up, and obviously this is gonna be a set for fucking Don Callis' turn on Will Ospreay, making Will Ospreay one of the biggest baby faces in AEW. So there's that. So I can't wait for this fucking match on Sunday. I mean, you just got two fucking great of the best in-ring pro wrestlers in the world, and I think they're gonna play on a Dynamite, no pun intended, Dynamite match. Nick Wayne versus Orange Cassidy, standard TV match, both good. Nothing, Nick Wayne's a prodigy, no pun intended, so he's very good at what he does. Guys like him, guys like Leon Slater and fucking Jay Malachi, fucking all fucking 18, 19 years old, just fucking just killing it in the wrestling business right now. Very athletic. Sky's the limit for all these young guys coming in. Of course, Orange Cassidy went, and what bothered me about this match, because this is for the international title, but Orange Cassidy's already going up against Roderick Strong in the pay-per-view, so it's like, why are we having this match when we already know the end result? So, anyway. Chris Statlander and Sky Blue went too long for my taste. Good match, but it just went too long. Sky Blue, has improved tremendously. So good to see her improving. But she wins with the Cold Blue on Chris Statlander because Stokely Hathaway inadvertently distracted. So I'm gonna skip the backstage stuff because I don't think you guys really give a fuck anyway. So Chris Jericho versus Atlantis Jr. Atlantis Atlantis Senior is one of Chris Jericho's mentors per se. When he was in Mexico, he wrestled with him in Mexico at a very early age when he was there. And Atlantis Jr. is obviously the son of Atlantis, so they wrestle against each other. Kind of a full circle moment, like 30 years later. Chris Jericho wins. Then you had, I guess, like the main event segment with Darby Allin and the Young Bucks. Young Bucks being Darby Allin. Ric Flair comes out. Ric Flair pretending like he was with the Young Bucks, and he turns against the Young Bucks, and he gets a little blow by the Young Bucks, and Ric Flair has can still punch if he was a snail. Punches so fucking slow now.
Oh, God.
But that's what happens when you're 70-something years old. So then at the end, Sting comes down from the fucking Raptors. It popped me so fucking hard. Thought this was fucking 1997 all over again. Great way to end the fucking show. So Sting with the baseball bat, attacking the Young Bucks, and Darby, recovering and attacking the Young Bucks as well. And your main event feud for your main event for the pay-per-view, very hot, very good. So if I have to give Dynamite a rating out of 10, I'll probably say 7.5. It's a good show. Good go-home show.
All right. That being said, Revolution this Sunday, March the 3rd, Greensboro, North Carolina, in the Greensboro Coliseum, and the big tagline is Sting's last match. Until it isn't. So far, there's 9 matches announced. I'm assuming there's going to be maybe a match or 2 announced. So we'll see. I'm just going to go in order. All-Star Scramble match. The winner will receive a future AEW World Championship match. So far, Chris Jericho, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Lance Archer, Hook, and Brian Cage are announced with TBA for 2 more slots. So are there just 2 more qualifying matches?
I'm pretty sure they're going to sort out between now and the pay-per-view.
So if you had to guess, who do you think is going to be added?
I don't know.
All right then.
I have no idea. You know what? Let me just speculate. Let's do Action Andretti, and we'll do Keith Lee. There we go.
Oh. So who are you picking out of this lustrous group?
So first and foremost, let's rewind here. This is supposed to be the Meat Madness match. But well, no, that's what it was called. It was called Meat Madness.
I just like that name, Meat Madness.
Yeah, Meat Madness. But Tony Khan stated on Twitter that, let me bring it up real quick because I don't want to misquote him. He stated that with multiple wrestlers slated for AEW's Revolution's Meat Madness match, out-injured plus shelved by AEW Docs, I'm temporarily freezing the bout until they're clear. Meat Madness is on ice. Instead, Sunday's pay-per-view will feature a all-star scramble match. However, what was advertised for Meat Madness was Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Lance Archer.
All
which
right.
is all 3 of those guys are in this match already.
All right.
So what the fuck are we postponing? And if it was 3 guys, unless there will be more guys in the match that was supposed to happen, but when it was advertised, it was supposed to be just Powerhouse Hobbs, Wardlow, and Lance Archer.
So, which meat are you picking out of this madness?
I mean, am I losing my fucking mind here? Like, does it?
No. I think you're fine. It's just Tony Khan doing Tony Khan things. But who are you picking?
Yeah, I mean, Wardlow has to win. If Wardlow doesn't win, this is unless these two to be announced guys, like one guy's like, oh well, but Wardlow has to win.
Yeah, I'll go with Wardlow.
He got a damn good promo last week too. Shit.
Mm-hmm. FTR versus BBC, John Moxley and Claudio.
BCC, but okay.
Yeah, BBC sounds better. Who you picking?
Who you got?
I'll go with FTR.
Hey, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't. I mean, it's gonna be a damn good match, but I got Blackpool Combat Club.
All right. Singles match for the TNT Championship: Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia.
Christian Cage.
Christian Cage. Daniel Garcia talked about his contract running up. Do you think he resigns with AEW? Do you think he goes to WWE? Do you think he goes anywhere else? What do you think?
What do you think he does?
This is gonna sound like an odd question. Is he friends with Cody?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I guess I kind of like Daniel Garcia a little bit more than I used to, because before I just thought, okay, another guy who's talented but bland, and now he's added the dance thing to his thing, which, you know, it got over and it pops me a little bit. I could see WWE maybe wanting to make a play for him, but I don't know. I don't see what he would add to WWE. So maybe go to Impact. I don't fucking know.
Well, I mean, no, he's not gonna. That's a huge downgrade if he does that.
I said maybe. I don't know, but
no, like you're not gonna like if once you're in AEW, going to fucking Impact is like going back to fucking high school. You don't want to do that shit. Like what money is he gonna get from? He's not gonna get the money that he's gonna see in WWE or AEW. I think he's staying in AEW. If he goes to WWE, I'm cool with it too, but I just personally think he'll stay in AEW.
yeah, I think most people are just content with being in AEW. That's the way it kind of seems. And I was just thinking about Ricky Starks. Speaking of Ricky Starks, he's not on the card for this pay-per-view at all. So, aren't they the tag team champions? Him and Big Bill.
Oh.
Who they lose the tag titles to?
Dude, Darby Allin and Sting.
Of course.
Yeah. You're that far out of AEW right now.
Wait, is CM Punk still in the company? I'm playing. I don't know. I just thought Jim Cornette called Big Bill Large William. That just made me fun. That just made me laugh when I heard it. Oh man. All right. Singles match for the Continental Crown Championship. If Daniel Bryan loses, or Danielson, Jesus Christ. If Bryan Danielson loses, he has to shake Eddie Kingston's hand. I don't know why that's a stipulation, but okay. Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson.
It's a stipulation because Bryan Danielson disrespects Eddie Kingston so much. Say that he's not a real professional wrestler, and that, you know, hey, if you beat me, I will shake your hand. So that's the background behind it. But I'm going with Eddie Kingston on this one, especially because that in the 6-man tag tonight, Danielson made Eddie Kingston pass out, so to win the match. So yeah, that's a foregone conclusion that Eddie Kingston's gonna win. So
all right, I'll go with Eddie Kingston as well. AEW Women's Championship, Timeless Toni Storm.
Will Ospreay and Takeshita, by the way.
I did? Oh, I did.
Yep.
Sorry about that. Will Ospreay versus Takeshita.
Going Will Ospreay. If it's given time, well, you know, one thing I will say about AEW, like, in, you know, a lot of people, like for most of their matches, they are given time for the most part. So, WWE is like, if given time, like AEW is like, fuck it, we'll give you the time you guys need. So,
not lately, but yeah, I know.
Yeah, for the most part, but this is gonna get time. You know, Tony Khan's gonna give these guys time, but and it's Will Ospreay's first official AEW match assigned to the AEW roster. So, you know, Will Ospreay wants to come in with a bang. So I'm going with Will Ospreay. He's not gonna lose his very first match. Now maybe, you know, and you never know because of the whole dynamic with Don Callis there, but I'm gonna go with Will Ospreay. So,
I'll go with Ospreay too. This is gonna be match of the year, as the kids say it. Women's World Championship: Timeless Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Toni Storm's winning. I don't know why you have Deonna Purrazzo signed to the company and already have her in a losing situation against Toni Storm. However, if Toni Storm cheats, then it will kind of diffuse the loss for Deonna Purrazzo. But still, it's like you got Mercedes coming in. It's like, what are we gonna do with Deonna Purrazzo once Mercedes comes in? So. Because Deonna ain't bigger than fucking Mercedes, I can tell you that shit right now. So,
yeah, they ain't gonna do shit with her like they usually do with every other woman on the roster. That's not Toni Storm. But yeah, Toni Storm. Three-way match for the AEW World Championship: Samoa Joe, Adam Page, and Swerve Strickland.
Samoa Joe's winning. There's no reason for him to lose the title right now at all.
Agreed. He's gonna win. AEW International Championship: Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong has to win. He needs to win. Otherwise, if he doesn't win, the Undisputed Kingdom is already fucking ice cold. It came in white hot. Now it's colder than a fucking than fucking the fucking North Pole. So Roderick Strong needs to win. He should win. I think he is gonna win this match.
I'll go with Roddy too. And what is more than likely the main event? Tornado Tag Team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. This will be Sting's retirement match. You have Sting and Darby Allin, the champions, versus the Young Bucks.
Well, the Young Bucks are gonna win. The Young Bucks are doing a great job right now. On what they're doing with this new character work. Not the best I ever seen, but I thoroughly enjoy it. It seems like most of the even like some detractors to the Young Bucks in AEW, they kind of say, well, hey, it's not the best thing I've ever seen, kind of like I'm saying right now, but it's better than what they were doing. So the Young Bucks, they for and should win. But I will say this too as well. Apparently this is Sting's last match. He picked, he picked the Young Bucks apparently. Mm-hmm. He picked the Young Bucks. But one thing I will say is that this is the first time that we get the AEW Tag Team Championship in the main event of a pay-per-view. And this is what the Young Bucks wanted. One thing that they said when they first started AEW, was like, hey, tag team wrestling and the tag team titles can be the main event. And, about 5 years later, they're finally getting it. So, and it's one of the hottest feuds, one of the hottest tag team feuds that this company has seen so far. So, so Sting's last match. Now, can we see, Sting go out on top, win and retire as champion? That could be something. Maybe Tony Khan wants to do that. Maybe Tony Khan wants to make Sting the only person in AEW history to retire undefeated. That could be a possibility too as well. But I think Sting wants to do business the right way, and he wants to not necessarily put over a new team. Obviously, the Young Bucks are not that. But he wants to, do the time-honored tradition, as, Vince McMahon likes to say. And, put over somebody on the way out. And, I think that's probably what's going to happen. So I'm going with the Young Bucks.
I mean, sadly, that kind of looks like how it's going to be for Sting's last match in fucking Greensboro, North Carolina.
Well, what's so sad about it?
I mean, it's fucking Sting's retirement match. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And anyways,
yeah, he picked the match. Can't shit on that.
Yeah, sure he did. But yeah, Sting will more than likely do business and not retire not retire him, but like win on top, and then I guess they'll strip him, which will be weird because Darby Allin's still actively wrestling. But
vacate
title. Yeah, there you go. But the Bucks will more than likely win, and that'll be the end of that.
What do you think about the Young Bucks' new gimmick? Do you find it any good out of it?
I mean, it works, obviously, because people already don't like the Young Bucks personally, so I guess their whole thing is, well, we might as well just be pompous douchebags, since everyone thinks we're pompous douchebags, and not address anything that's gone on in the past year and a half. So it's working, because it's like with Logan Paul. Logan Paul, they made him a face for some reason. It's like he needs to be a heel because he's a fucking dick.
Right.
For these guys, it's like they need to be heels because they're fucking dicks. So it works. So they did something right in my eyes. So
yeah. Okay.
They passed the Drew Yari test. Let's put it that way.
Drew Yari. The litmus test.
The litmus test. The hardest test you'll ever take. Let's do ratings. Let's do TV show ratings. I have them right here. Let's start from Friday Night SmackDown, which was actually a tape show because of it was the night before the pay-per-view in Australia, so it taped the night previous, or the week previous, I guess. That drew a 2.272, and it did a 0.62 in the demo, which is actually down from the previous week, which did a 2.5.
Well, yeah, it's fucking taped.
Yeah.
That's why it's down.
Yeah, I'm just pointing it out. Dynamite from last week. Well, I think we already talked about that. Oh, no, we didn't. Dynamite from last week drew a 828 K.
Down. I think that was down.
Let me just confirm. That is actually up. The week.
Oh no! I saw. No, go ahead. I saw something else that was down. But
Right.
You're gonna get to it.
Yeah, the week previous, which was on Valentine's Day, was an 811 and a 0.30 in the demo. And then last week was an 828.29 in the demo. So there's that. Rampage this week was a 364.11. And Collision was a 385.11. So both kind of steady in the demos.
That's not good numbers for Collision, man.
Oh, no.
That's literally almost under half to the debut show. It's pretty bad.
They need to just let that show die already. Raw. Monday Night Raw drew a 1.738 with a 0.57 in the demo. The week it's a little bit down, the rating. Last week they had a 1.8 and a 0.63 in the demo, so a little down. And then NXT from last night.
Yeah, that's why I saw that was down. I saw it was down, and it was as low as since July of last year.
Right, they drew a 570 and a 0.16. Last week they drew a 616 in the ratings and had a 0.18, so they were down. So not so.
I'm wondering why the numbers dipped so low. Because last night there was nothing going on. There was no big games or anything in the NBA or anything that was on TV. So I'm just wondering, like, what caused that? Very, very strange.
Oh, that is pretty weird. Because NXT, like, for the most part during the summer and actually not even really during the summer, during the holidays, even like during fall, they were actually doing pretty well. They were doing like 670s, 700s, depending on if it was like a big show, 800. So I don't know. It's kind of strange. All right. Let's get into some news. I guess a big chunk of the news. Vincent, a.k.a. Virgil, whose real name was Mike Jones, or Michael Jones, which is crazy. Who? Mike Jones. Died today. Stop. Virgil. Not Mike Jones, Virgil, which his real name was Mike Jones. But anyways, Jesus Christ, no, I can't say it. Reportedly died today peacefully at the age of 61. Let's see. It was on a Facebook post. My dear friends, it is with great sorrow that I bring news from the Jones family of the passing of our beloved Michael Jones, whom we know and loved as Virgil, Vincent, Soul Train Jones, and more. Virgil passed peacefully at the hospital this morning, and I ask that you pray for him and for his family. May his memory be eternal. Jones' health had deteriorated over the years. In 2022, he suffered 2 strokes and was diagnosed with dementia. I didn't even know that. Earlier in the year, Jones had announced he had been diagnosed with stage 2 colon cancer. Late last year, Jones set up a GoFundMe seeking aid for minor expenses.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
Obviously sad. I mean, Virgil was a part of some big shit in wrestling, with Ted DiBiase and the $1 Million Man. Came to WCW as Vincent, which a lot of people thought is a rib on Vince McMahon. That's kind of where I kind of started to become more acquainted with him. When I first started watching wrestling, I saw him. But overall, what are your memories of Virgil, Vincent?
Well, I mean, obviously him being with the $1 Million Man, him turning babyface, and he was one of the biggest babyfaces in WWF for a short time period. In the early 90s, winning the $1 Million Championship from Ted DiBiase as well. And just being a, like you say, he was a very over babyface, when he turned on the $1 Million Man. So, he, obviously went to WCW, and, he was there as, Vincent, and, I always saw him there as like the, pretty much like kind of like the leader of the NWOB team. So like it was like lean guys like Scott Norton and Buck Bagwell and just everyone who was in the NWO during that time, and coming out to the ring with them, and always doing something, and he was the one that took the diamond cutter from fucking Oh no, that was never mind. That was Mr. I remember he took a diamond cutter from DDP or from somebody, in a memorable moment. But anyway, he'll be missed for sure. He was he was a meme before memes in the wrestling space. Especially at the convention, right? When he was there by himself and. It became such a meme that fucking Mattel made a figure out of that. So with the sign as well. So, he's gonna be missed. He's definitely gonna be missed. He's the meat sauce god. Mr. Marinara breadstick. So what he used to call himself, and
nice.
So he's like I say, he's gonna be very missed at the end of the day. And what I want to hear is stories from. Well, he's no longer with us, but Roddy Piper. So I'm gonna see if I can try and find any type of stories from Virgil from Roddy Piper on this podcast I used to have. But I also want to hear from Ted. I want to hear from guys that were in the NWO with them, like Kevin Nash and Sean Waltman and Buck Bagwell and Scott Norton. I want to hear stories about Vincent, Virgil, and just kind of hear like like some of his best moments. But he'll be missed. Another legend gone at the end of the day, and I think a lot of people took him for granted. Just because of the fact that he wasn't like, one of the best wrestlers of all time, or that he was like one of the mainstays, as far as, in ring. But a lot of people, who grew up during my era, and knowing him from, Ted DiBiase, obviously, right? Like, he was within that stratosphere of names that came up. Of like, oh, well, I remember, Ted DiBiase and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, the Ultimate Warrior. Virgil would come up. He would come up in conversations like that. So, gone, not forgotten. I will say, go out there and try to find yourself some Virgil highlights on YouTube, right? But I'm more than sure you'll find a few. Even at that, you can find yourself some you find yourself some interviews as well from Virgil. So, prayers to his family. Cancer is not a thing to take lightly. It does kill people. It does hurt families a lot. So, I'm pretty sure we may have a member or two in this chat who has experienced someone close to them that had cancer or have cancer, and hopefully, they are still with us today. But just don't take things like that for lightly. When someone says, hey, they have cancer or whatever the case may be, like, take it seriously and, and try to give your prayers to those individuals.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself, Justin. R.I.P. to Virgil, and condolences to his family, friends, anyone that knew him. This is kind of like an off-kilter question. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Okay. Do you think that WWE might induct him this year or next year?
That'll be fucking stupid if they do that.
Why?
Well, how come he wasn't in the Hall of Fame already?
I mean, I'm saying that because I'm saying that because you know how WWE does things. You know what I mean?
No. They like to me like. If I were in wrestling, let's say if I were wrestling and I become big enough to become in the Hall of Fame, that's like a slap in my face. Like, you wait till I'm dead, like, as soon as I die, then you put me in the Hall of Fame when I should have been there fucking years ago. So
they did that with Vader,
but that's still wrong.
Like, I'm not agreeing with them. Right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's how WWE does things.
Yeah, I mean, now Bray Wyatt's different. It's unexpected, right? He was still, you know what I mean? That's unexpected. A-Girl, unexpected, right? Chris Benoit, not in the Hall of Fame. He's a piece of shit.
Why? What did he do?
Oh, but yeah, no, I'll be upset with WWE if they actually did that, and not because he doesn't deserve it. It's because of he should already been in the fucking Hall of Fame to begin with. Right. Why you put him in the Hall of Fame? Because he passed away. And honestly, I don't know if he will actually go into the Hall of Fame. I can see them put him in the Legacy Hall of Fame.
Right.
The Legacy wing. So, which would be fine too as well. But yeah.
Right. Speaking of Legacy, Vince Russo. Vince Russo went on X, which is, I call it Twitter. I don't give a fuck. Elon, just call it Twitter. No one's calling it X. Revealed that he's been diagnosed with diabetes. He wrote, "Found out yesterday I have diabetes."
No, don't do that, Drew. You can't do that.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I'm
having cancer and passing away. Like, come on, man. We're better than that.
I mean, I'm playing. Come on, people, I'm playing. Found out yesterday. I have diabetes. Today the battle begins. There's more than wrestling, bro. There's life. So, not the biggest Vince Russo fan. Despite that, I hope he's okay. I want the guy to be okay. We all hope he's okay. So I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Yeah, of course.
So,
same thing. I like Vince Russo more than others because I love the chaos of WCW 2000, even though it killed the company. But I will say this: I always said this: without Vince Russo and him pushing Booker T would never gone to the heights that he's went in his career. I think.
Right.
Like, because he was never world. So, and one thing about Vince Russo that no one gave him credit for, he was about the youth movement in WCW. Now, he went about it the wrong way with some of the crappy gimmicks that was done and crappy storylines, but he wasn't for the Hulk Hogan's and the Ric Flairs and, and Lex Luger's. Like, he wanted to push guys like the Booker T's and the Jeff Jarrett's and the Vampiros and the, guys like that. So, that's one piece of credit that I don't think a lot of people don't give Vince Russo at the end of the day. But anyway, I really hope that he's fine. Again, you know, we take a lot of guys for granted in pro wrestling. You know, so like ever since the whole Bray Wyatt situation, like it's, you know, I try to approach people a different way when it comes to wrestling, when it comes to performers at the end of the day, because, you know, they don't. I mean, even though he wasn't a wrestler, but still, like he's part of the fraternity of pro wrestling. So
Right.
yeah. Anyway.
Free agent news. According to Fightful Select, former never openweight champion Tama Tonga is headed for WWE. No word on when Tonga is set to debut in WWE, nor whether he's headed for the main roster or NXT. WWE has maintained interest in the former IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champion for nearly a decade, with both sides reportedly talking multiple times over the years. WWE had been heavily speculated, and it's just basically telling us the same thing. So, Tonga coming to WWE. Tonga's like 41, right?
Yeah, he's up there in age, yeah.
So, I saw someone post this because I didn't really think of it because I'm not, again, I don't know much about Samoan culture. He's not full-blooded, I mean, well, not full-blooded, but like he's not like Samoan, he's Tongan, which
that's
right. I honestly didn't know that was like a culture or like an island. I honestly didn't know that. Like that's where my ignorance comes in. That's where my white ignorance comes in. So.
kind of like the with Ming, we had the Tongan death grip. So yeah,
right. So, because like someone, of course, people were like, "Oh, put him in the bloodline," which someone said no because he's not even Samoan. He's Tongan. I'm like, difference?
Yeah, I get what they're saying, but apparently, and I'm not, quote me if I'm wrong, I mean, I'm not, like, if I'm wrong, but apparently, Haku, right? Haku and Jimmy Snuka and Haichi Piramaibia and that whole line, they all consider themselves family.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
not part of the tree. They're not like Haku's family size, not part of the actual tree itself, but apparently they're still, you know, family. Quote, I'm putting that in quotations, quote unquote. So I don't know. That's not my, not my culture, not my. I'm not in my way of saying, what is right, what is wrong. If they consider themselves family, then who am I to say anything? They're fucking family. So
right.
Let's go with that.
I mean, and also, fucking Joaquin Wilde's in the LWO and he's Filipino. So. Well,
I mean that's kayfabe there, but I mean, well, this is kayfabe too, but yeah,
right. And
kayfabe flash shoot.
I forgot where I heard the story. I think it was The Rock who told it that his grandpa, Peter Maivia, didn't he train Afa and Sika? And they weren't like technically part of the family, but they're like Samoans.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Filipino is just Spanish Asian. Okay. That's what Keith said, but I mean, I think Tama being in the bloodline is kind of like the obvious pitch. It makes more sense. I mean, and it just, again, it adds more fuel to the storyline that's going on, because Jimmy is kind of on the outs, even though Jimmy does whatever Roman tells him to do, and most of the time he fucks up. He eventually is going to be like, I'm going to find somebody who's going to do your job better than you, and then that's where Tama comes in, and then maybe eventually you can get a fucking Jacob Fatu in the group.
Yeah.
And
this is still be able to, so this storyline will still have legs with Tama Tonga coming in, and he no fucking NXT from whatsoever. No. That will be a piss poor mistake if that happens. Number one, but also number two as well. Him being with Roman and being under Roman's wing per se, even though he's older than Roman, being under Roman's wing people are gonna find out on how fucking good Tamataga is and how like he can talk. He's a great mic talker, and like he just does not give a single fuck either. So
Right.
so it's gonna be very interesting to see on how things go down. So if he comes in, if he's not with the bloodline, then he needs to be part of something with AJ. But that's a huge downgrade, and yeah, I don't think that's gonna work either because obviously he was one of the founding members of the Bullet Club. Like, you know, it was him, fucking Prince Devitt, aka Finn Balor, right? And Carl Anderson. You know what I mean? And Bad Luck Fale, but you know, Bad Luck Fale, he's definitely not coming to WWE. But anyway. Yeah. So, you know, I'm for this. You know, can't wait to see on what they do with him. And if they're gonna bring him in, you know, with this whole bloodline thing, it has to be sooner rather than later, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely. I guess it's kind of off topic. You know, Jacob Fatu. I mean, obviously you bring him in, put him in the bloodline. Do you boot out Solo, or do you keep them together and have Solo and Fatu just kind of be like the new, like, you know, Samoan SWAT team?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't see why you got to boot out Solo.
No, that's why I said that. I said, like, do you, like, is that how you bring in Fatu? Like, one, do you boot out Solo, and then, you know,
I mean, if Solo makes them now, if they want to, like, make Solo a babyface, then sure, right? And have Jacob Fatu be the new Solo, and have Solo be the babyface. You know what I mean? Because he's obviously has to have enough exposure now, and kids love Solo. Like, let me tell you, because I get at least several times a week, I get kids coming in, like, do you got a Solo figure? No, I don't. I'm sorry. Do you got a Solo figure? No, I don't. I'm sorry. Like, I sold all mine already. So kids, they like Solo, at least from San Antonio. Well, you know, that's a whole nother situation. But anyway, you know, I really think that they. You know, I really think they can have something with Solo being a babyface, but if not, keep him as a tag team, right, for a little bit. So that way they can try to get Jacob Fatu over on the main roster. Mm-hmm. So that's something that they could do as well. So they have a lot of options.
Well, I was kind of thinking of the idea of, you know, you bring in what's his name? We were just talking about Tamatanga into the bloodline, and he's kind of the guy that takes over the spot that, you know, Roman wished Jimmy would have done better at, and that's be like the guy that takes out the guys that Roman wants him to take out. And then you bring in Fatu, who is like secretly being the guy that kind of takes over Solo spot, because Roman eventually is going to want to turn his attention to Solo and be like, man, Solo, ever since you beat John Cena, you haven't done shit. And then, you know, Fatu is kind of that guy that Roman grooms to be in that spot. But for the most part, you know, Solo and Fatu are going to be in a tag team and just run through people. And then eventually, you know, Solo gets booted out. And like you said, Solo can be, you know, a face. And him and Fatu can feud. So and that's just kind of how I'm looking at it. So, and then last bit of news. This has kind of been going over Twitter all day. So, at a house show in... I don't know where the fuck this was. Where was this house show? If anyone knows. Maxine Dupree had a match. It's not really being said who she wrestled. But as she's leaving the ring, she's getting booed by the crowd. So, you know, usually when that happens, nothing should really be said. In this case, it was. Rhea Ripley retweeted the video of her being, she retweeted a video by somebody named Alluring Banks, which has a picture of Maxine Dupree, where I'm assuming it's a she. It's either a she or he. Who cares? This poor girl is getting booed at a house show for trying to get better. ... Wrestling fans suck. Rhea Ripley retweeted the video and said, I really wish some of you got booed and ridiculed in the public eye while being new at your job. Learning and getting better is all a part of being human. Be better as humans. Chelsea Green replied, you know, couldn't have said it any better. AEW star Britt Baker added 100 emoji to Ripley's post in the quote response on X. Again, just this shit has to happen every other month. Just more white knighting, more people going after, more wrestlers having to chime in and defend other wrestlers, which I get it. I mean, that's kind of like the unwritten rule in wrestling. There's the fraternity, the brotherhood, and also the sisterhood in this case of we have to defend one of our own, and I get it. That's kind of the unwritten rule in wrestling is you have to tell other wrestlers that their matches are great or just good in that case. But again, it's just, for these people that have been in wrestling for as long as they have, Rhea, I don't know how long she's been in wrestling. How long has Rhea been wrestling? Do you know?
Under 10 years, probably say 8.
There you go. And then Chelsea, who's been in it for just as long. Other people like Natalia, other people like Britt. Again, I get why you have to chime in and defend one of your own, but in this case, it's like, how people are. People are going to boo. And to make it a big deal than it already is, and for people to, again, pull the white knight thing of, what happened with Dana, not too long ago, where people were saying Dana sucks. And of course, they had to do the whole thing of like, oh, Dana works hard. People are just stupid. People are mean. Wrestling fans are mean. I mean, as far as I know, nobody was like throwing rocks at Maxine or calling her a slut or throwing, tomatoes at her or whatever. They were just booing her. So this whole thing about, you're getting ridiculed, I liked you to get ridiculed on your first day on the job trying to get better. It's like, you and me have had this talk before. Me and RJ have had this talk before. This girl's not any good. This girl's not good. It's not being mean.
True. And sorry to interrupt, but in this particular situation, it's from, how should I say, it's from criticizing to, in this particular case, where it's kind of damaging.
Right.
This is damaging. Like, what's the purpose of doing that at a house show to someone? It's not on TV, for one, but also number two, to Rhea's point, she's just someone that's trying to get better. Now, is pro in the ring pro wrestling her thing? Probably, maybe not. Probably not, right? But at the same time, you don't want to kick someone while they're down.
True.
And this is kind of kicking someone when they're down already. And because probably, Tim, they want to prove themselves that they want to get better. And kicking someone while they're down is not the way to go. So Rhea Ripley has every right, and also as well, Britt Baker and Chelsea Green, they have every right to chime in because we never pro wrestled before. We never been in the ring. We never take any bumps.
No.
How the fuck can we to say on when someone should stop or when someone should not, right? Because we never done it before at all. So that's number one. Number two on top of all this as well, Maxine, she's not a person who is, how should I say, she's not someone that causes problems to what I know. She's, she likes to do modeling and all that stuff as well. And she's someone that actually cares on what she does, right?
Right.
Same thing for Dana Brooke. She and remember when I said when Dana Brooke got let go and she went to TNA, I said this, and you guys could go back, you guys could find the clip, whatever the case may be. I said, I hope she gets better. I hope that this will be a catalyst for her to get better and she can come back and say, ha ha, I told you so. Ha ha, I got better. Ha ha, you thought I sucked, but I'm really as good as I thought I could be. I'm living up to my expectations. In this particular situation with Maxine Dupree, if she's in the ring, I'm not going to expect, oh, this is going to be a great match or anything like that. I'm expecting to not be so good, but at the same time as well, I'm going to still support her for getting in there and at least trying. and at least trying to get better in the ring, right? If it's a bad match, I'll be like, hey, you know what? This wasn't a good, in my opinion, this wasn't a good match overall. You know, it looked sloppy. It looked like this, that, and the other. I'm just going to call what I see as facts. But again, to the fans who were really putting her down and you know, and kicking her while down, that's out of line to me. And again, this goes back to situations like last year with Bray Wyatt and Bray Wyatt, you know, people were like, oh, this gimmick sucks, and you know, he should be off TV, and this, that, and the other, should be in the ring, and this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden he passes away, and people are being fucking fake fans all of a sudden, be like, oh my god, Bray, I love Bray, and this, that, and the other. I'm just saying, do not remember, these guys are humans at the end of the day. These guys are human beings at the end of the day, and I don't want to sound like, you know, an SJW or whatever the case may be, but we need to be better. We need to be better as wrestling fans. Again, you can criticize, that's fine, but there's a way of doing to criticize versus kicking someone while they're down, and not necessarily making it a personal attack, but just, you know, just like unnecessarily, like, keep egging it on when it's unnecessary at the end of the day. You don't know what these guys are thinking. You don't know what these people are thinking. You don't know what this could do to their mental health. You know what I mean? Look at Hana Kimura. She got bullied on Twitter and social media, and she ended up killing herself.
Right.
So think about your actions. Think about what you say before you do it, because your actions can lead to something very drastic. Okay? I'm not saying that anything bad will happen to Maxine or anything like that. I'm just saying you never know what's going on behind closed doors at the end of the day. Maybe she really thinks that she's getting better, and the reality is that she may not be getting better. And if she's not, we can criticize it, but don't kick it while it's down. Encourage her, be like, hey, this is not a great match from her. You know what I mean? This looked kind of sloppy, this, that, and the other. But, you know, I hope that she gets better. I hope that she keeps trying. I hope that, you know, something else works out. And for one reason or another, if she's taken off TV, if she just becomes a valet, so be it. At least she fucking tried. Right. So, you know, like, do you go to fucking indie shows and be like, oh man, this girl's very first match, oh man, she fucking sucked. This guy's first match, oh, he fucking sucks. Oh, this guy's refereeing his very first match, oh my god, he was out of position. Are you gonna do that fucking indie show? You're not. Now, this is not the indie show, this is fucking WWE, but still, you gotta think about it. How many matches do you think Maxine has had in her whole entire career of pro wrestling? What, less than 30, 40, 50?
A lot less than that.
Right? Like, so think about it from that aspect too as well. Like, come on. Like, we gotta be better. We gotta be better as fans. We gotta be better. We gotta be better as recognizing certain situations. That's just my opinion, though.
I think both sides are wrong. You know, like you just said, is just on one side, you know, we don't know what this girl is thinking. We don't know how she feels. And, you know, you brought up the Hana Kimura thing. You brought up the Bray Wyatt thing and here's the thing about me is, like, you know, at least I don't think I'd do it. I don't do things with malice unless, you know, I think the person is a vile, just, you know, douchey piece of shit.
But that's the thing, though. A lot of these people don't, like, a lot of these wrestlers, they don't understand.
Yeah, those fucking dipshit wrestling fans. I know. Yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying is that a lot of these wrestlers, they all put us in one boat.
Yeah.
So if we say something negative about them, we're all, no matter how we try to gloss over, they all put us in one boat.
Right.
No matter what it is.
Basically, with Maxine, all in all, wrestling just isn't for her. And, you know, me and RJ talked about this on a Patreon where, you know, not every valet needs to be a wrestler. You know, there was that time in...
How do we know for sure that wrestling is not for her?
Because she's not very fucking good, dude. Like,
but again, okay, so again,
Okay, I'll say this. Let me say this.
She has less. How many matches has she had? You think she's had in her career?
Let me say this. Let's see
how many matches do you think she's probably had in her career?
I'm gonna answer your question. Let's see what she does after 20, 30 matches. If there's still no improvement,
has she had 20 or 30 matches yet?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm answering your question that way. Let's see what she does after match 30 or match 35. If there's still no improvement, okay, wrestling is not for you. You need just be a valet.
But at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, though, I'm not gonna say that wrestling is not for you. like that's kind of that's harsh. Like say, hey, wrestling is not for you.
I mean, it's true.
Maybe. So she should just get out of wrestling. Period.
She needs to just be a valet. Sometimes being a valet is just the thing for you.
Okay, so you're saying like, okay, in the ring, she should not be wrestling in the ring, not wrestling like in the business.
She just should just not be wrestling. Sometimes you don't always need to be a wrestler. Sometimes you can just be a valet or a manager, and that's perfectly fine.
That's fine. So, so I misinterpreted. The way I took it is that when you say wrestling's not for you, that she should be out of the business completely.
No. I'm not going to be a Jim Cornette and be like, she should never be in the business. Like, no, just stick to being a valet because that's what you're good at. Sometimes people are just good at one thing, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? So, again, I got nothing personal against the girl. Maybe she's a sweet, kind, nice girl. I got nothing against her. Everybody has a role to play, and that's fine. Because at the end of the day, it's wrestling.
I'll say this, too. That's what wrestlers are.
Yeah.
Wrestlers, as far as like Rhea Ripley, she's totally. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. She's totally in the right to defend her to defend her.
And I agree with her.
No matter what
I'm fine with her.
What you think about, anything about them defending each other, she's totally 100% in the right because that's what wrestling is. Wrestling is a brotherhood, and I see it all the time with local indie wrestlers. And sometimes, and I'll be honest, I go to some of these matches, and some of these matches. I use a different perspective. I'm like, man, this is kind of rough. But at the end of the day, they got to fucking support each other to keep going, to get better. Do you think that Rhea Ripley started off as a fucking, as one of the best women's wrestlers in the world? No, I'm pretty sure she had her fucking stinkers of matches as well, right? Trish Stratus. Look at Trish Stratus in the year fucking 1999, 2000.
Tiffany Stratton.
Was she good in the ring?
Tiffany Stratton, another name. Like when she came in, we're like, oh, good, another blonde. And she wasn't very good in the ring either, and she's gotten better, and now...
No, I will say this, and then Trish Stratus and Tiffany are more athletic than
well, you know what I mean, right? We're talking about...
But what I'm saying is that we cannot have that mindset of this, she has a bad Raw match, it just doesn't work out. Like... Try to find, and this is why I said with Gable Steveson, a lot of people said that, and this is a completely different perspective because he was a fucking Olympian and all that shit too as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's a completely different spectrum. Even though I did not love that match with him and Baron Corbin, I stated there were some good things about it. I thought some of his athleticism they showed in the match was pretty good. You know what I mean? There were some good things about it. Now, that's a completely different story. I'm just going to leave that, on the other side. But, again, with Maxine Dupree, I will probably say this. Do I think that she's going to be a in-ring talent, by the end of the year? Probably not. I'll be honest. Probably not. But we cannot just kick her while she's down and write her off and be like, hey... You should not be in the ring. Let WWE make that decision. Let her make that decision at the end of the day. Until then, I'm going to support her. And if she does have a bad match, I'm going to criticize it. But at the same time, I'm going to be like, hey, wasn't a good match. You didn't have a good match tonight with Valhalla. But you know what? I really hope that she continues to improve in the ring. I continue to hope that she gets better until they make that decision. But outside of that, we should not really be, well, I'm not saying us here in the chat or anything like this, but should not really be going on Twitter and be like, oh, you fucking suck, get the fuck out of the ring, and this, that, and the other. Those fans are not fucking wrestling fans at the end of the day. Those are fucking viruses. They're fucking
Right.
viruses to the fucking business.
Right.
And that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's just like those wrestling fans. Those aren't us. Those aren't the people in this chat room.
Right.
You know, we're not gonna say, "Boo, you suck. I hope you die" or whatever. Like, you know, we're gonna be critical, but we're gonna be more like, you know, what's the word? Objective.
Yeah,
We're gonna-
diplomatic.
Diplomatic. We're gonna be like, you know, that just wasn't very good. You know, I'm not gonna say I hate this girl. You know, like I say about Indy Hartwell. I don't think Indy Hartwell is very good, but I'm not gonna say I hate you and I wish you would die. You know what I mean? Like, I don't make it my life's work to hate people.
Well, I mean,
Like-
it's not even about them about hating them either.
Well, no,
It-
like the point I'm trying to make is just like if I'm not a fan of somebody, I'm just not a fan of somebody. But I'm not going to go out of my way every week like a lot of these, like you said, viruses, and just be like, you know, oh, this bitch is on TV again, fuck her, blah blah. blah. Like I'm just going to be like, she didn't really have a good match. But again, going back to a conversation that we had earlier in the show, if someone or anyone does something that I think is good, I'll praise it. You know what I mean? Like Lash Legend, for example. I think Lash Legend has shown improvement in the ring. And I'm always man enough to admit when I'm wrong. In this case, if Maxine somehow does show improvement by the end of the year, I'll be happy to admit that I was wrong and she's improved.
Dude, I really hope now. The odds are against her. But
Yeah.
but I really, if she improves, if she really gets like this thing down and starts to get good in the ring, like I said, odds are against her. But if she does, man, God, man, I really hope that happens, man, because there's gonna be a hope. There's a lot of these guys who are, you know, criticizing her now are gonna all of a sudden be fans, and you know, there's gonna be a bunch of fake fucks on Twitter. So anyway.
Right. The point of wrestling is that you want these people to get better. We don't hope for somebody to suck, because that's just like, you know, mentally ill people. But all in all, it's a shitty situation. I'll just put it that way. But that's all the news I have. What do you have?
Hold on. So I got a couple things here. So hold on, getting rid of the Tamataga stuff here. Really just two things. Well, three things technically, but we'll talk about the third thing in a second here. AEW. I'm saying AEW. Sorry. Not AEW. Sorry. According to WWE sources, not AEW sources, WWE sources, nothing has changed regarding Drew McIntyre's contract situation. Everyone is working together on the assumption on a new deal will be reached, but nothing has been signed and sealed as of today. And also, it was announced that they did sign a contract, but according to PW Insider, he did not sign a contract, and that was as of yesterday on the 27th. So, me personally, I believe that Drew will resign with WWE in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what your current feelings are about the whole Drew McIntyre situation as far as his contract is concerned.
He's signing back. He's pretty much going to sign back. I think like the talk before, like him, you know, before any of this happened, like a year ago, was that he wanted a bigger spot on the card, which at this point, you know, CM Punk getting hurt was, you know, the best thing to happen to him, because, you know, now his shirt's selling and he's going to be in a big match at Mania, which more than likely he should win. With this new regime in WWE, like, they're better at capitalizing on heat. And with Drew, it's like, well, Drew's the hottest thing going right now, so you got to strike while the iron's hot. So I'm hoping he does win. He should win at Mania. And, you know, that's obviously going to play a part in him wanting to sign back, because Keith, you know, just said in the chat room, if he does not sign back, where exactly is he going to go? He's not going to go to AEW. He's not going to go to Impact. Maybe Japan? Question mark. But yeah, he's staying.
Nah, New Japan's in fucking, I won't say shambles right now, but that's the reason why Okaz's leaving, reason why Will Ospreay left, because of money. So yeah.
All right.
And he's gonna, and he would get a bigger contract than Matt Riddle and fucking Ziggler too. So I mean, if he does leave WWE, really all it is AEW. That's where he'll go, but his utilization will be very much questioned at that point in time.
Right. Yeah, I think either way, he's just going to stay in WWE. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, one more news story. Then I got something for us to go over. Something that you're gonna love. Maybe not, but we'll see. Not a big news story because we went over through everything else already. But TNA. Possibly going to Full Sail University to tape their shows. So they may be going to the old NXT stomping grounds. But according to Dave Meltzer, in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, this is not going to happen anytime soon, but they want to go live. The idea is to go live and have a location where they'll go every Thursday. And Full Sail University is one of those places they talked about. So... so recently, obviously, we know what happened with Scott D'Amore and, and TNA and Anthem letting them go and, all that stuff and the debacle, with that. And, apparently I don't know if you saw, but they had their pay-per-view show, I believe it was last Thursday, actually. And Eric, I don't know if you saw Eric Young coming out on the stage with all the roster, basically like giving like their battle cry speech, like he was pretending like he was being Triple H or whatnot. But I don't know if you saw that or not. No. All right. Well, anyway, it was interesting. But anyway, Scott D'Amore wanted this, to go live and to have TNA. Be taken more seriously with a bigger budget, but it seems like not a for sure thing, obviously, or anything like that, but that it could possibly happen in the future. We all know the answer that we want. Yes, we do want to see them go live and and maybe go to Full Sail, but the real question is, do you think that this will increase viewership for TNA Wrestling? Do you think this will give it a new wrinkle? Do you think it will give more interest in the product?
Yeah, I think it'll be about the same.
About the same, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess the idea of it going where NXT used to be, which would probably be like essentially across the street from the Performance Center. I don't know. I want to be optimistic, but I'm just going to be realistic. It'll be about the same.
All right. Well, as far as news, that's all I got. But I got one last thing for us here, and this is your favorite thing of the year.
Ooh,
this is your favorite thing of the year. Last week, our good friends at the Wrestling Observer newsletter release their 2023 year in awards. So this is like the flagship. This is like the flagship of these awards. This is voted on by the fans, not the writers, not Meltzer, not Alvarez, not anyone that works in. Voted by the fans. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna go through not all of them here because we don't have all the time in the world, but we'll go through most of these here, and we'll just talk about them real quick. So I'll start from the bottom, and we'll work our way up here.
Cute.
And we're starting off with Promoter of the Year. If you had to guess who Promoter of the Year is, who do you think it is?
It's Triple H.
Well. You're wrong. It ain't Triple H. With the score of 371 votes, it is Nick Khan.
Oh yeah, the right Khan won.
Followed by Tony Khan in second place and Dana White in third place. So Promoter of the Year is more of like the main guy.
Wait,
right?
I got it mixed up. Triple H won Booker of the Year, right?
Yes, and that's the next category is Book of the Year. And Book of the Year is Triple H, Paul Levesque, followed by Tony Khan and Juan Manuel Mar of, I believe, CMLL. So,
Are you surprised Tony Khan hasn't released a passive-aggressive tweet about losing?
not really. Not really.
Okay.
Worst promotion of the year. Worst promotion of the year. If you had to guess.
Is it Impact?
No.
Is it New Japan?
No, not for worst promotion of the year. Worst promotion of the year is NWA.
Ah, I forgot about
Four-
them. I forgot about them for a good reason, but go ahead.
Yeah, 456 votes. AAA, 88 votes, and for some dumbass reason, you got 61 haters of WWE
Of course.
for worst promotion of the year. Worst feud of the year.
Worst feud of the year. Is it the Devil thing?
The Devil versus MJF, which I actually disagree with, but I don't think it's the worst. You know what I mean? I don't think it's the worst feud of the year. Like,
It had interest. It had interest, and then it completely dipped.
yeah, it had interest, it completely did, but it doesn't mean it's the worst feud of the year. Like, so MJF and the Devil, 167 votes. The Outcast versus the AEW Originals, 114 votes. Then you have Tyrus versus EC3, 74 votes. Which you think that could have been? Would you think that could have been the worst feud of the year? But whatever. So
Anything with Tyrus is the worst anything of the year.
it's really stupid. Worst match of the year. It's, dude.
I mean, I know my worst match of the year, but what is it?
It's Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. I 105 votes. I mean, I get it, but like that's kind of shitty to vote that.
Yeah.
Being that was Bray Wyatt's last match. Like, I get it.
Well, to be fair, that was mine, but I purposely negated the match for obvious reasons.
Like you can't, it's like it's I get it, but like at the same time, it's like this is Bray Wyatt's last match, and it's like, you know, he's gonna shit all over it, and you know, anyway. But apparently Tyrus versus EC3 was in second place. Apparently that was the worst match of the year. And Shane McMahon, Snoop Dogg versus The Miz.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, that was Anyway, worst television show of the year.
Dynamite.
This is the Wrestling Observer newsletter we're talking about here.
Rampage.
This is the Wrestling Observer newsletter that we're talking about here.
Collision.
This is the Wrestling Observer newsletter that we're talking about here. They're not going to put anything... They're never going to put AEW on this fucking list for worst TV show of the year. They did put... However, I mean, I seen a couple episodes and I didn't enjoy it last year. NWA Power. 194 votes. Now, second place... Now, this is where the biases are coming in. Second place was WWE Raw.
Of course.
176 votes. And WWE NXT, 112 votes.
NXT's you would at least think Marks would like the smart Marks would like NXT, but whatever.
Nah. Smart Marks hate NXT. In my opinion, but yeah. Most disgusting promotional tactic.
Huh. Was it when James Mitchell was snorting coke?
That's third place, actually.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but the winner, which in my opinion is the right one. WWE enabling Vince McMahon and him being back in power.
How's that a promotional tactic? How's that a promotional tactic?
I don't know, but it's correct though. Well, I mean, because it did get in the news. It became mainstream news, and it did promote WWE in the process. So.
But that's not whatever.
It's not.
Anyways.
I get it. I get it. But it's 197 votes. WWE continued relationship with Saudi Arabia. People are still salty about that, but
God, people need to get over that already.
Yeah, like it's like just get over it. 140 votes and the NWA cocaine spot. So. Best wrestling maneuver. So what is the best wrestling maneuver according to the fans?
Is it Will Ospreay's move?
It is, yes. If you had to guess one, I don't know if you know the names of them, but
The super duper.
all right. So it's the hidden blade, so it's the elbow to the back of the head. 139 votes. Then Will Ospreay's Stormbreaker, 76 votes. And King Omega's One Wing Angel of 68. Worst major wrestling show. This is stupid.
Wait,
I already know why they voted for it too as well. It's so fucking stupid.
worst major wrestling show?
So worst pay-per-view, essentially.
Oh, pay-per-view. Is it WWE?
Yes.
Was it SummerSlam?
No, Crown Jewel.
Of course.
141 votes. I think they voted that because of earlier what people said was the worst promotional tactic WWE continued relationship with Saudi Arabia. So I think that's the only reason why they voted for it. But NWA Sam Hain, 89 votes, and then you had AEW World's End, which is, I'm kind of shocked that that's up there. 79 votes. Best pay-per-view or major wrestling show.
WrestleMania Night 1.
No, this is the Wrestling Observer newsletter that we're talking about here.
Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know.
AEW Revolution.
Oh God.
188 votes, which I mean, I think Revolution is like the most consistent. Like as far as like AEW shows is concerned, I think that's like the most consistent ones that they have. So, Forbidden Door, 128 votes, and All In, 111 votes, which no WWE shows up there, which is fucking stupid. But oh my god, next one is worst television announcer.
Announcer?
Yes. Oh, as far as commentator, we'll just say that commentator.
Corey Graves?
No,
Michael Cole?
no, he's not even on the list. Surprisingly, but this one hurts because this is completely not right. Booker T.
Oh, I like. You know what? I like Booker T. He's
I
funny.
love Booker. I love Booker.
I mean, he's not great, but he just makes me laugh.
He's fantastic to me for the wrong reason.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but anyway, 100. Now, I think a lot of people are voting Booker T, but a lot of people don't fucking watch NXT. So I think they're just voting on him for past experience. That's why I'm thinking, but Kevin Patrick, 162.
Yeah.
Which you
probably should.
which I think that could be legitimately number one.
Yeah.
Jim Ross, 90 votes. Best television announcer, fucking shoot me in the head.
Is it fucking Excalibur?
It is Excalibur,
What
183
the
votes. Ian Riccaboni, 139, which I like Ian Riccaboni. And Kevin Kelly, 137 votes. Best non-wrestler.
Prince Nana?
He came in third place.
Paul Heyman?
175 votes, huh?
Paul Heyman?
Came in second place, 198 votes, but come in first place. If you want to get one more guess.
I don't know.
266 votes, Don Callis.
Fuck you.
I mean, I like Don Callis, but
Fuck you. Fuck you.
you hate him. What? I never hear you.
Paul Heyman.
I never hear your opinion on Don Callis, though.
Paul Heyman can go in there with his mouth taped and still cut a better promo and be more entertaining than Don Callis. Fuck Don Callis. Fucking rapist. Fuck him.
What's with the hate on Don Callis?
I mean, do I need to start with the Scarlet Fever shit in TNA? Fuck him. He sucks.
I wouldn't say that, but okay. But I mean, I honestly, I'll probably have Paul Heyman number one, but I don't think Don Callis sucks. Rookie of the year, I'm just gonna go through this one because I don't think you'll know these names here. Yuma Anzai, 205 votes. He is from All Japan.
Oh,
Action Andretti.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Action Andretti's second place, 140 votes. Don't understand why he's a rookie because he was there. Whatever. And Megan Bain, 65 votes. So we'll just skip that one. Most underrated.
Underrated. Is it someone from AEW?
No.
WWE?
Yes. Who's always mentioned as underrated?
Nakamura?
No.
Chad Gable?
Chad Gable, number 1.
Ah, okay.
84 votes. Konosuke Takeshita with 80 votes, and Daniel Garcia with 50 votes in third place.
Good.
Most overrated. I don't think you're going to get this one, but I'll let you get one guess. I mean, I know you're not going to get this one, I should say.
Overrated.
You're 100% not going to get this one.
Is it Roman?
He's second place, 109 votes.
Okay,
You're not going to get it. He's from New Japan. You're not going to get it. So
then-
it's Sonata. Sonata, former NW, NJPW, or IWGP champion. Sorry. And CM Punk in third place.
Of course.
Votes. Best high flying wrestler.
High flying wrestler. Okay. Is this someone from Japan?
No. It's a guy that you've seen. You know of the guy. You know his name.
Okay, is he in any of the top 2 companies?
Yes and no.
Okay. Oh, Osprey?
He's second place. 52 votes.
Jesus Christ.
Like it should be like who do you see all the time on fucking Twitter doing crazy shit?
I mean, narrow it down. Shit.
I mean, it's
Vikingo?
there you go, Vikingo, 595 votes. Jesus Christ. And Ray Finks was third place.
Okay.
Best the Bruiser Brody Memorial Award, which is Best Brawler. Yeah, you're gonna love this one here.
Breast brawler.
Yeah.
I do love breasts.
Best. I'm sorry.
So who has the best breasts? No. I mean, who's really a brawler in wrestling anymore? Is someone from WWE?
Fuck no.
AEW?
Yes.
Is it Eddie Kingston?
You know what? He's not on this list, and I'm kind of surprised, actually. Especially because who was in third place for this. So, if it's not Eddie Kingston, it should be...
Is it John Moxley?
It is John Moxley, 383 votes. Ishii, 91 votes, and for some reason, Adam Page, 78 votes. I would have put any... Like, I don't get that one, but... The Bryan Danielson Award, Best Technical Wrestler, goes to...
Is it dun 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 Bryan Danielson?
Bryan Danielson, 549 votes. Zack Sabre Jr. is in second place, 427 votes, and Josh Alexander getting some love with 17 votes. Most charismatic.
Charismatic. Is it LA Knight?
Surprised he's on this list, but no.
Is it a WWE guy?
No.
Is it an AEW? Oh, MJF.
MJF, I was really gonna be like, what the fuck? MJF, 162 votes. Roman Reigns getting some love here with second place, 88 votes. And Kento Miyahara, 81 votes. Most improved.
Most in LA Knight?
No.
Is it a WWE guy?
No.
What the fuck? Okay. Ricky Starks?
No. No.
Who is it?
It's a woman, I'll say that.
Woman. Okay. Tony Storm?
No.
Who is it?
Julia Hart, 117 votes. Dominic Mysterio in second place, 86 votes. In Mariah May with 49 votes in third. Best box office wrestler.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, number 1. Number 2 is Cody. Number 3 is John Cena. We're gonna skip the MMA shit. Feud of the year. I think a lot of these are gonna start surprising you here. Like, I really think so.
Feud of the year. I think I remember feud of the year. It was Sami Zayn, the Bloodline.
There you go. Number 1, 268 votes. Adam Page and Swerve, 119 votes, and Kento Miyahara and versus Katsushiko Nakajima, 98 votes. Women's wrestling MVP.
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, number 1, 359 votes. Number 2 is Julia, 162 votes, and your favorite of all time, Athena, in third place, 100 votes.
Goody.
The Daniel Hodge Award. So basically, it's the non-heavyweight MVP. So basically, like cruiserweight-ish, I guess.
Okay. Is it Vikingo?
Vikingo, number 1.
Of course.
189 votes. Hiromu Takahashi, 144 votes. And Darby Allin, 139 votes in third place. This should be a fucking... Like, if you don't say the name in 10 seconds, I'm gonna kill you, pretty much. The European MVP.
Gunther.
Oh, you know... No. Okay. So, Europe MVP is people who predominantly wrestled in Europe during the year.
Oh, Osprey.
Okay, that's the way I should explain it. But yes, it's Osprey. Then Michael Oku, who's actually fucking good, 45 votes, and Zack Sabre Jr. with 26 votes. Mexico MVP, I don't think it's...
Vikingo?
I don't really think I should really be going over this, but it's Mystico, the former Sin Cara, 460 votes. And then it's El Hijo del Vikingo, 314 votes. Then Rocky Romero, for some reason, 68 votes. Weird. Japan MVP, this is the weirdest one.
Is there actually a Japanese wrestler that won it?
No.
Is it Osprey?
It is Osprey. So I'm like, so weird. It's true. It's true, but, because he did wrestle in Japan, predominantly along in Europe. But so, Osprey, then Okada, then Tetsuya Naito. The United States / Canada MVP.
Is it Osprey?
No, it's not Osprey.
I'm fucking around. United States. Is it a WWE guy?
It is.
Is it Cody Rhodes?
It is Cody.
Okay.
Cody. 268 votes. Bryan Danielson, which I'm surprised didn't win. 139 votes, and MJF 135 votes. I think the MJF and the Bryan Danielson votes got split, and I think Cody just came out on top. So, skipping the MMA stuff. Match of the year, pro wrestling match of the year. We're almost done here.
Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte.
No. Again, this is the Wrestling Observer fans we're talking about here.
Jesus fucking Christ. Was it Osprey and Omega?
Yes, it is. They got number 1 and number 2. So the Tokyo Dome show for Wrestle Kingdom got over 3,000 votes, 474 first place votes. Then my personal favorite match of the year came in second, which was the Forbidden Door match of 116 first place votes with 1,227 votes. Then third place was not the Forbidden Door, but the Revolution match, the Iron Man match, MJF and Bryan Danielson, 115 first place votes with 1,065 total votes. Now, all right, these next two categories are gonna piss you off for the wrong reasons, which is, and this pissed me off when I saw this too as well. But best weekly TV show,
Monday Night Raw.
No,
is it Dynamite?
It's Dynamite.
What the fuck?
These guys pick now. It gets better. Dynamite came in first place. They got 430 votes, 2,707 total votes. Collision for some reason came in second place. I don't understand why. I don't understand why. So 74 first place votes, 1,483 votes. This is just, these guys are just haters of WWE. These, but I can't really say that because like we'll talk about it more in a second. But and SmackDown came in third, 128 votes, 1,434 total votes. Promotion of the year.
Oh, WWE.
How can WWE win promotion of the year but don't win best weekly TV? Like, what? I don't understand. So WWE wins promotion of the year, 406 first place votes, 2,359 total votes. AEW came in second place, 194 first place votes, 1,965 total votes. And New Japan came in third, 17 first place votes, were over just a little bit over 1,000 votes. Best on interviews.
MJF.
No. Came in second.
Is that WWE guy?
No.
Who the fuck is good on interviews that's not in WWE or besides MJF? Okay, who is it?
Eddie Kingston. 199 first place votes. 1,483 total votes. MJF second place. 140 first place votes. 1,441. Now I like Eddie Kingston. I mean, I think he's a good promo, but I won't put him. As far as last year, there's nothing too memorable that he did last year. Of course, to be in first place, and Christian Cage, number 3, 148 first place votes, 921 total votes. Tag team of the year.
FTR.
FTR, number 1. 2,341 votes. Followed by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Whatever, I guess. 1,100. I don't even think they were the best tag team in WWE last year, but okay. 1,128 votes. Then Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, 712 votes. That is MMA. All right, so we got 2 left.
All right.
We got 2 left. So this is most outstanding wrestler. So best in-ring wrestler of the year.
Ospreay,
number 1, 3,086 votes. Bryan Danielson, 1,773 votes, and Kenny Omega, 590 votes. And the Luthez Ric Flair Award, which is wrestler of the year. So the totality of everything.
Ospreay,
number 1. Yep.
How do you win wrestler of the year and outstanding wrestler of the year?
I mean, hey, Ospreay's that guy.
Okay.
According to these fans, at least, you know what I mean. Again, this is a completely different fan base, right? Like, so again, but one thing that I really had to question was like, okay, WWE, they won promotion of the year, but didn't win best weekly TV show. That really bothered me right there. So anyway, but first place was Will Ospreay for wrestler of the year, 1,814 votes. Cody Rhodes came in second place. He was right behind Will Ospreay, 1,330 votes, and MJF third place, 927 votes. So that is your 2023 Wrestling Observer Award winners. Good God.
Oh, goody. All right. We're about to be at midnight. I was going to do This Week in Wrestling History, but it's getting late, and we'll just do that for next week. But, all right. 2 hours and 51 minutes, so you guys got your money's worth, or show's worth, or however you want to put it. But we are done for the night. Justin, as always, it's been a treat. Another good show in the can, and just thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's always fun. It's always fun to talk some good wrestling, of course.
Yeah, we had some pretty spirited debates on the show tonight, but it made for a good show, and hopefully you guys enjoyed what we had for you guys tonight. So, But plugs. Justin, you start. Plug yourself.
Yeah, of course. Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. Go check out the winter sale. Still going on, 10% off. We use Winter 10 at checkout. That'll basically cover shipping pretty much. So it's kind of like you shop in the store and not even having to pay shipping. So array of t-shirts available. The I Am Pro Wrestling t-shirts. You got the USA t-shirt. You got the Just Enjoy Wrestling t-shirt. You got the Hardcore Wrestling t-shirt. You got the Hill Heat Pineapple Pizza t-shirt, because if you like pineapple pizza, you are the fucking devil. Okay, that's not the total name of the shirt, but it's a pineapple pizza t-shirt that sells Hill Heat on it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, go check out the Ray t-shirt. Support small businesses like myself. So also Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Definitely can follow me there. Where you can keep up with me and what I got going on at my shop, which is Spinebuster Tees at Wonderland of the Americas. So if you're in the San Antonio area, feel free to come out, visit, and kind of see what I have. I got a rate of a whole bunch of new stuff in stock over the past week or so. T-shirts, lucha mask, magazines, got a whole bunch of new stuff that came in. Also including Funko Pops, action figures, trading cards. I'm working on getting more DVDs in the shop as well. So come and visit. Spinebuster Tees and spinebustertees.com.
Nice. And of course, me. You know where to find me. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Instagram. I have a Facebook page. YouTube. Just type in Drew Yari. I'm the only Drew Yari I know. And the show is pretty much everywhere that podcasts are distributed. iTunes, Spotify, and of course YouTube if you like watching podcasts, even though you just hear us, but you know what I mean. And Patreon. I have a Patreon channel. I do shows with the likes of Ruben Prime, RJ, and Jeff Lipman whenever he's available. And we just put up our respective Patreon episodes last week, so listen to those along with other new and original content. It's only $5 a month. It is a damn good deal. Just $5, people. You won't find a better deal than that. And that's pretty much it. And just shout out to everybody who does support the show, loves us, shares our shit, comments, and anyone who does show up here every week to listen to us. We appreciate you guys. Don't think we don't. We do appreciate you guys. We love all you guys. And, of course, shout out to the man who made all this possible, Anthony Missionary Thomas, who gave us this platform on the Wrestling Soup Discord. So, Mish, if you're out there, we appreciate you. We love you. And that's pretty much it, peeps. We will see you next week, same time, same channel. First show of March. It's already March, peeps. So the year's going by quick. And we'll see you next week. We will be reviewing... this, I was going to say NXT. We'll talk about NXT as well, but AEW Revolution. So,
well, probably just me, maybe. We'll see.
hey, you never know. I might watch it. You never know. But anywho, we will see you guys next week. So take care, be safe, and peace out.
Peace.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew